everyone. I'm morphing into my next identity.
It's the Zapper now. Um, and I don't like YouTube just did something really, really weird. Like it kind of took us to not live. So can everyone hear us? I really don't know what happened there.
I don't know. I would offer some constructive help, but I have no idea.
Nah, that's all good. Okay, well, let's assume they can hear us until we hear otherwise. So yeah, no, it's good. Um, yeah, I think we've actually just gone live. So I think everyone missed the totally amazing song that I chose for this stream. Did everyone just hear
Oh
Blink
no.
182, or was that just for mine and Eel's benefit? Because I really wanted to play that because this is going to be Lorne and Kayla's first date. So I really think that
I'm so nervous.
mate, I am nervous too, especially when YouTube fucks up. It just adds to the nervousness. So anyway, if you didn't hear First Date by Blink One, they didn't hear it. What do we do? Do we go back and play it
Oh
now,
my
or just
god.
say that it would have been on there?
I mean, I think we have to play it,
Let's
right?
do it.
I mean,
All right, guys. Just pretend none of this happened. And this really is capping off my week of unprofessionalism. Like this is drawing levels of fucked up. Anyway, Eel and I are gone. Stream starting
I was
now.
saying, man, so I walk in there, my brother's around, and I end up kissing my own brother. You
That's
know?
far out, man.
That's what I'll say. It's fucked up.
You know what they say, man, like father, like son.
You said it best, brother.
Part of the stream, and thank you to the boys from Lawn 182. Sorry, Lawn 187, as someone said in the chat. Um, so yeah, g'day Eel or the Zapper or whatever the fuck you want to call yourself.
oh my god, you did it better the first time. That's all right. It's all right. Thank, thank you for having me back. I'm so excited to read more of this shitty book.
Me too, me too. It's been great so far, in spite of how shit the book is. Yeah, so we'll get into it, seeing that this has just been a bit of a clusterfuck so far. But let's say hello to everyone. So hello to Dan Jones, to Trooper grandson Chatchipate Billy. You smell like cocoa butter apparently. And g'day, evil little McNuggets. That was you, the Zapper. Apparently, you smell like cocoa butter. So lovely.
That's
Uh,
accurate. I do
that
smell like
that
butter.
is accurate. G'day, Vast Ravioli. G'day to Catch a Professor, and great to see you back to Catch a Professor. Very good to see. Winnie's boyfriend slash husband. Hello. Um, who else we got here? Rachel D. G'day, Rachel and Becca and evil little McNuggets and Philip Waller and I am the Senate Ham Cubes and also Popeye the Trailer Man. Smokey the Cat, great to see you, Smokey the Cat. It is happening eventually, belatedly. G'day Vexy, good to see you. Who else we got? Mandy, yes, hello. Pussy Destroyer. I always love that name. Who else we got? Dr. Cassandra, g'day mate. And we also have. And thank you to Catch Professor. Says I'm doing great, and I'm a testament to Slovakia or wherever the fuck I'm from. Yes, I am actually Slovakia's finest export. Glad you noticed that. Rick Borum, g'day mate. Anderson Birdbath, who says it's pronounced Blink 18-2. And we have La Senorita, and I am the Senate, and Cornville's Foreskin, and Logan W. Horsestink 182. Fexy says Travis Barker is so fine. Like, I enjoyed Travis much more before the whole Courtney K thing started happening. I could really do without seeing them eating each other's face every time I go onto Facebook at the moment. Like, I'm not even like linked to any of their shit. Like, I don't follow any of their stuff, but every time I turn around, they're fucking destroying each other. Ronnie Beltrain, g'day mate. Bundaberg Bogan and some jealous basement dweller. Cool, I think I got everyone there, so thank you all for being here. So, quick little recap where we left our heroes last time. So, essentially, he had a brief stay in a mental hospital, but, you know, just kind of no ongoing treatment as you would expect. He got welcome home with like a surprise party, which is always the best thing to do with someone that's, you know, suffering from PTSD. And then he went and peeled enough potatoes to feed the army with ex-Derek. Did I miss anything there, Eel?
And he's got a date. We left on a cliffhanger. He's got a
Ooh, he
date. A
does.
woman has been presented for him. So relax, everyone. Everything's gonna be fine. A woman is here to save Aaron.
Lorne, I present you with
Lorne.
this woman. Okay, well look, let's jump into it once I figure out my little stuff here. So we get our layout, and then we get our...
Did you change Brooke to be Kayla? Because I did.
I'm insulted you even had to ask. Of course I did.
Well, you know, I don't know. I don't know how you do things down south.
And for everyone, for everyone's, you know, interest, if you are interested, there was 482 mentions of Brooke in this thing, which they're now all Kayla. So here we go. Chapter 6.
Wait. Without doing anything yet. Don't even look at the page. I know you opened it, but don't even look at it.
Okay.
How does this chapter start? Take a wild stab in the dark. How does this chapter start? It's going to be either with eating or clocks. Like looking at a clock, telling the time, something like that. Okay, we'll see. Who knows? Go ahead, start.
We'll see. All right, I'll start. If you want to tap in, feel free to tap in whenever. It's just Smokey the Cat says, "Can't wait to hear you read in Chicagoan. It's so exotic sounding. But I sound like a truck stop hooker." Thank you.
True, accurate.
I have been called much worse, Smokey the Cat. So thank you very much for that. I will just go and cry in the corner. G'day, Wayne Tech 10 and Cornville Councillor. All right, Chapter 6. Lorne looked at the digital clock. Well, look, okay, I was half right. In my head, I was picturing an analog clock on the wall, so I didn't nail it, but that's not too bad. Alrighty.
I'll give you partial credit.
Thank you. Lorne looked at the digital clock on the nightstand in his bedroom. It read 6:32 p.m. Derek will be here in 1.5 hours to pick me up, so I guess I should get ready now. He told himself. He wasn't really too thrilled about going on a blind date, but he didn't have anything better to do. He pulled some clothes out of his closet and dresser and took a quick shower. After getting out of the shower, he got dressed, combed his hair. Oh, come on, Lorne. Come on, you don't have any hair to comb. And splashed on a bit of cologne. He still had about 30 minutes to go before Derek was supposed to arrive, so he made himself a couple of hot dogs. What the fuck? Brushed his teeth, then munched on some popcorn while he watched television until Derek showed up. Okay, this motherfucker is playing with us. This is actually a parody novel, isn't it? So...
Yeah, because, like, you don't brush your teeth and then eat popcorn. That's going to get stuck in your teeth. You brush your teeth and floss after eating the popcorn.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, you don't eat anything after you brush your teeth. It really defeats the purpose of brushing your teeth, but popcorn
Right.
out of all things. Like, you have a few bits of popcorn. That shit is all through your teeth. But also, they are going out on a dinner date. I mean, it turns out to be the most epic fucking date ever. But they're going on a dinner date, and this fat prick is eating 2 hot dogs. 2 hot dogs. Like, what the fuck?
He had a 3-course meal, but brushing his teeth was the middle course.
2 hot dogs
He had
and
hot dogs
popcorn
for the
prior
appetizer.
to his 8 o'clock dinner date. Fucking hell. When he saw Derek's
Just like-
headlights shine on the wall through the living room window, he quickly grabbed his wallet and walked out the door, locking it behind him. Striding swiftly to the car, Lorne got in and said hello to Derek as he buckled his safety belt. "How are you doing, Lorne?" Derek asked. "Good. A little nervous. I'm not too big on blind dates," he told his friend with a friendly chuckle. "Well, you'll be happy to know that Kayla doesn't like blind dates either," Derek informed him. Lorne muttered. "2 people that don't like blind dates. Sounds like a match, huh?" he said with a hint of sarcasm in his voice. "Yeah," Derek laughed. "It was Amy's idea." "Oh, sure. Blame it on the girlfriend," Lorne joked. "Yep. Just don't tell her that. I could get in trouble for it," Derek responded. Sounds like good blackmail material, Lorne thought, still joking. So he's joking within his thoughts. "Gee, thanks.
Right.
By the way, now hang on a second. Sounds like good blackmail material, Lorne thought." And then Derek responds with, "Gee, thanks." So Lorne clearly said
They're
that.
such good friends.
They're such good friends, they read each other's thoughts.
Exactly.
"Gee, thanks. By the way, I don't have any money in the bank, so if you blackmail me, make sure you want something small and worthless, like a $10 watch from Walmart or a $5 bracelet."
What the fuck? Yeah, sterling silver bracelet. What? Oh, okay. All right. All right. This is our first. Eel Reerg is exhausted with bullshit. Who? Not even what 19-year-olds would be talking like this. First, okay. Oh my god. Like every thought in my brain is going off right now.
Just deep
gone-
breaths. Deep breaths.
Okay. He's been gone for a year. They've seen each other once, and he calls him up. His friend calls him up and goes, "Hey, I got a chick for you. Let's go out." Okay, sure. And then they get in the car and they start talking like they're being investigated by the FBI and they're worried their vehicle is bugged. And now they're joking about $10 watches from Walmart.
It is the most unbelievable dialogue. Like, no one talks like this. I mean, I hope no one talks like this. Like, and so, you know, if you have a friend and you guys talk like this to each other, you guys aren't friends. You're barely acquaintances.
Yeah, absolutely. This is how you talk to a stranger on the bus that you're like, "Stop talking to me."
Exactly.
Like, this is ridiculous.
Exactly. If I make this as awkward as possible, they're going to shut up and let me get back to listening to my podcast. That's basically what's going on there. And g'day, Trash Panda, and also Sad Face 09. So he's now joking about cheap shit from Walmart. You know, once again, reminding everyone that this was
Derek.
written with Derek. And this was written, you know, anywhere between a few months and a few years after he was caught in the sting and imprisoned, where he bought something cheap from Walmart. And, you know, Derek was his main competition for his beloved Kayla. You know, the only thing that would have made that sentence complete is like, you know, something small and worthless like a $10 watch from Walmart or a variety pack of condoms. Like that would have really, really hit it out of the park. I'm guessing that the girls are at Amy's house, Lorne asked. "Yep. I think you'll like Kayla. She's a really nice girl," Derek said, trying to ease Lorne's nervousness. "Good," Lorne said, feeling better, knowing that Derek held a high praise for his blind date. G'day, the Time Machine and Sean McClure. They pulled into Amy's driveway, got out of the car and walked to the front door where Derek was greeted by Amy with a kiss. And then she greeted Lorne with a handshake and a hello. Fucking handshake. Like, I don't know. And
Do they know each other?
well, yeah, and like a handshake. Like, I mean, and this is like I always say, like I can only talk by my experiences and, you know, how I am with people. But if I'm going to my mate's place and, you know, his wife's there or his girlfriend's there or whatever, if I've just met them, like I wouldn't you know, I wouldn't be shaking their hand. I'd just be saying, you know, g'day. But if I know them, then I give them a hug. I don't shake their hand. Like, that's
Yeah,
such a weird thing to
it's
me.
a weird
Like,
middle ground.
that's like I'm going to a mate's place tonight to watch the footy, and so I really feel like putting my hand out to shake his wife's hand when I get there just to see her reaction.
What the hell is this?
You're reading that fucking book again, aren't you? Alright, where were we? Pulled into driveway, blah 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 blah. Okay. Amy ushered them to the kitchen, still holding Derek's hand, where Kayla stood waiting to be formally introduced to Lorne. Lorne's mouth dropped open as he caught his first look at Kayla, and he had to catch himself so he didn't give any hint of losing his cool with his first impression. But he thought she was completely beautiful, and noticed that she hadn't taken her eyes off him either. She's fucking gawking at him. But, you know, she's one of those fucking girls at Walmart that are always gawking at him. That's a good sign, he thought to himself. He was able to move his eyes off Kayla when the sound of Amy's voice jerked him from his unexpected trance. I'm assuming that's meant to be trance, but
Yeah.
it was an unexpected trance. Okay. Lorne, this is Kayla. Kayla, this is Lorne, Amy said after noticing the sparks between the two of the strangers. The sparks? Like two fucking idiots just staring at each other.
Go and shake her hand. Or, hey, nice to meet you. Make some effort, Lauren.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, he's just standing there? What an asshole.
Just laughing at Smokey the cat's comment out there hugging all the females. You slut. You slut. Lorne reached his hand out to shake Kayla's, and he felt the rush of heat throw from her soft hand into his body. She's beautiful, he thought as he struggled to say hello to her. Just a precious princess. Kayla was a slight overweight, but Lorne didn't notice that right away because he was caught up in the beauty of her face, with her big brown eyes, with long, thick lashes, beautiful, soft, straight, blonde hair. Lorne, you fucking idiot. But you know, he does like playing with long blonde hair, as he told us all. And slight overweight, like really, like I've never heard anyone refer to someone as that before.
Not even slightly overweight, just a
slight.
slight overweight, like 1 pound overweight.
Yeah, a slight overweight. And Dimple, so precious when she smiled. Precious! Oh, Lorne! Come on, mate. So precious when she smiled, it made Lorne hear his own heartbeat. She was about 3 inches shorter than Lorne's 5 foot 8 inches, which was good because Lorne wasn't attracted to women that was taller than himself. Oh, look, fuck this. Like, honestly, I'm so mad.
I see that Lorne chose to wear his hat perched upon his head because he's 5 foot 8 inches there instead of the regular 5 foot 6 inches.
Yep.
So, you know, bold date. I wouldn't wear a hat on a first date, but you know, okay.
G'day Gorilla Spawn, who says I see nothing wrong with cuddling and caressing. And g'day Duchess, and also Peanut Butter Ripple and Misfit71. Thank you all for being here. Okay, so Dimple's so precious when she smiled it made Lorne hear his own heartbeat. She was about 3 inches shorter than Lorne's 5 foot 8 inches, which was good because Lorne wasn't attracted to women that was taller than himself. He slid his hand from hers when Derek's voice interrupted his brain this time. Are we ready to go? Derek asked. I'm ready if the ladies are, Lorne answered, trying to impress Kayla by putting the ladies...
We need to stop for a second. Where are they? Are they at... Did they go to Derek's house?
Amy's house.
Are they at Amy's house?
They're at Amy's house.
Are they at Amy's parents' house? Because they're all 19.
Yeah.
Is that what they mean?
Oh, well, no, they've all, I'm assuming they've all done really well for themselves at 19. They own their own house, and
Okay.
but
Right,
but potentially Amy's parents' house. We don't get those kind of details, Eel. Like I'm not sure.
Yeah, unimportant, I guess.
Really unimportant details right there.
where we are and who the people are involved in the setting. You know, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Matters is that Kayla was slightly overweight, but Lauren was okay with it. He's sort of a hero. He's a feminist icon.
He's a good.
Okay with
He's a
overweight ladies.
really, really good guy. You know, he's not concerned by her weight as long as she's happy and healthy. That's you know the kind of motto that Lauren
Wow.
lives by. So
A hero.
you know. I'm ready if the ladies are, Lorne answered, trying to impress Kayla by putting the ladies first to make the decision of when to go. Wow, what a fucking gentleman. We're ready, Amy answered for herself and Kayla. Well, she's pretty fucking rude answering for Kayla. Like, I mean, nothing like Lorne. G'day, Cybersqueak. And Duchess of Cornwall, and Cybersqueak is here to steal Eel Reerg's writing ideas.
Great, perfect.
Lorne and Derek escorted Amy and Kayla out to the car and opened the doors for them, then walked around to the other side and climbed in themselves. The night moved along as they went out to eat, to see a movie, and then to a dance club. Lorne was happy to find out that Kayla only liked slow dances, because he couldn't dance fast dances very well, and it also gave him a reason to hold her close to him and get to know her better with one-on-one conversation. They were both happy to learn all they had in common. So they've just learned all they have in common, everyone. We don't know what that is. We don't actually find out the dialogue because it was far more important to have 2 pages of stilted dialogue between Derek and Lorne than it was to find out any of the conversation that the main characters in this story had in their initial kind of courting period. That's not important. It's much more important.
We need to know
blackmail.
We need to know if Derek is going to extort Lorne. You know, what kind of extortion he can get out of him. You know, in a dollar amount and in a place of purchase. Exactly what he could extort out of Lorne.
Yep. But, you know, kind of developing on the bond that these two, you know, soon to be lovers, soon to be married, soon to be, you know, course sticking people are going to have. That's not important. That's just doesn't even deserve a full sentence. By the end of the night, Lorne and Kayla had happily agreed on a second date and exchanged phone numbers before she gave him a kiss on the cheek and parted ways. So they gave each other their PN.
And I'd like to point out the entire date was 1 paragraph. Their first meeting is 1 paragraph.
1 paragraph. And in that date, they had dinner, a movie, and a dancing. But there was 1 paragraph, and also a reminder that the date started at 8 p.m. No. Actually, Derek picked up Lorne at 8 p.m. They then drove over to Amy's house, where they had the creepiest, you know, kind of first meeting I think I've heard about. Then they went to dinner. So even by even being generous, it's probably not 9 o'clock until they're at dinner. So they had dinner. They then went and watched, you know, roughly 2-hour movie. So that puts us at probably midnight before we get to the dance club. And we heard nothing about that. Incredible.
They had a slow dance at a nightclub at midnight. Like, that's what's going on at nightclubs at midnight. Like, they're not turning on some Colin Ray at midnight, okay?
Play some Colin Ray! And Cybersqueak, yes, Lorne did eat before the date and then had dinner. Both Eel and I kind of lost our minds then. And in terms of eating, he had 2 hot dogs and popcorn before his dinner date. Amazing.
He's gonna have some more food afterward if memory serves. So gear up.
Oh,
if you're in this for the food talk, you got it this week.
This is all about food talk. Okay. Derek and Lorne talked on the way to dropping Lorne off at home. Thank you for thinking about asking me to go on a date with her before asking anyone else, Lorne said to his friend. Thank you for thinking about me when you're thinking about asking someone about thinking about on a date. You're very welcome, right. Derek replied. So you two have set up another date with each other, huh? Yep, A week from tomorrow, Lorne answered. And g'day, Alison Marie Armstrong, and Brucey Bruce, and Jason Spears. G'day to you all, and Juniper, and DBD Veggies. Where are you going to take her? Derek inquired. She said she likes roller skating, so I told her we could do that, even though I'd probably be spending most of the time on my butt. Once again, virtual signaling about how I don't even like this, but it's what she wants. That's how much of a guy he is. Derek laughed.
And
Well,
why do it? Why
Yeah.
go roller skating? Pick something else. Pick anything. I bet she was like, you know what? I know what's going on here. Okay. He was like, we should hang out again sometime. And she was like, oh yeah, sure. And he was like, what do you like to do? And she just like threw out some stuff. And he's like, okay, let's go roller skating. She's not gonna see you again, bro. This is not happening.
exactly right.
Oh God.
Or he's probably like, I'm not very good at roller skating. She's like, well, that is the only thing I do. Literally all I do is roller skate. Derek laughed. Well, maybe she'll take pity on you and hold your hand. That's what I'm hoping for, Lorne cajoled. Derek pulled into Lorne's driveway and the two shook hands, fuck me, and said goodbye before Lorne got out of the car and closed the door, then watched his friend drive away before entering the house. He turned after closing the door behind him and walked to the kitchen, where he found a note left on the table for him by his mother. He smiled because his mother had always left notes for him on the table when he was in school, and he enjoyed the memory. He picked up the note and read it. Lord, there's some ham, potatoes, and peas on a plate in the refrigerator for you, in case you're hungry when you get home from your date. What? But she knew he was going out to dinner. Why does he need more food?
And where was she? Wasn't she home when he was at it? Because he didn't leave till 8. Didn't she see him before he left? I just assumed she saw him eating.
Like, how much food can this bloke eat? Like you just said, she doesn't seem to go anywhere. So she would have seen him wolf down 2 hot dogs and popcorn, knows that he's going for a dinner date, and then has prepared ham, potatoes, and peas for him when he gets home. This has been like 5 or 6 hours. He has had more food than I eat in a day in 6 hours. Like,
He's
fucking
eating
hell.
like 3,500 calories over the course. Actually, more. If they went out to eat, if it was like an Italian restaurant, that right there is like a day's worth of calories, plus 2 hot dogs, plus the ham and potatoes. This guy, I'm worried about this guy. He doesn't understand nutrition.
Oh, I think that's an understatement. I think Lorne definitely does not understand that. G'day, Mr. C, and g'day, Shin's Koala. No worries about the loud cajoling. That's always welcome here. Where are we?
My date was really good. I can take over here.
Yeah, go for it, mate.
Mom, my date was Rilfy good.
You've missed some of the fantastic note because I lost my shit halfway through it. So we missed the bit where it was like, leave me a note to let me know how your date went, and I'll let you sleep in tomorrow. If you don't leave me a note, I'm gonna wake you up so that I can find out and hear about it. I love you, Mom. There you go. Over to you.
Okay. Lorne smiled and flipped the paper over to write his mother a note about his date, like she asked him to. Mom, my date went realty good. I have another date with her next Saturday night. We'll tell you about it when I wake up. I love you, Lorne.
Okay, so
Sat the pen down.
why
Go ahead.
why would she? A, why is she so fucking interested in her adult son's day? And B, why would the ultimatum have to be write me a note to let me know how it go, or I'll wake you up? Like, why would you want to hear about all this on a note when he lives in your fucking house? Why can't you just wait until the tenderhead wakes up and get all the juicy details then?
Yeah, this is really gross too. It's like they're 19. He's probably really horny. He's been in the military for a year. Like,
Yeah.
this is not appropriate conversation. Like, if I was his mom, I'd be like, just, leave me out of it. Keep it in your pants. You
Yeah.
know.
Oh,
I don't want to hear the
you wouldn't
gory
details.
details.
Believe it, Mum. We had dinner and dancing and saw a movie, and she expelled dampness everywhere. Oh, Lord, oh, that's so good, Lord.
Okay. Do you think Mama Gwen
Sorry,
ever?
Shit's Koala says Aaron's setting up a three-way with Brooke and Mum.
Oh God. It's Shins. God. Oh my God. Okay. He sat the pen down, walked to the refrigerator, and pulled out a plate of food his mother had left for him. After peeling the plastic wrap off the plate, he slid it in the microwave to warm it up. He poured himself a tall glass of milk while his food was heating up and set it on the table. When the beeper sounded on the microwave, he retrieved his plate of food, sat down, and ate. He replayed the events of his blind date with Kayla in his mind as he scarfed down the food. I really liked this girl, he decided to himself in a whispered voice. I hope it works out with her. He finished his food, downed his glass of milk, and set his plate in the sink before retiring to bed. It was the first time in a long time that he had been able to go to bed without thinking about something from the war. I'd like to point out that paragraph of him heating food up and ruminating about the date that he had just gone on was equally, if not longer, than the actual date in terms of the story.
Well,
I'd just like to put that out there.
That's obviously, narratively where he decided this is where everyone will learn about the date in my memories rather than while it's happening.
Right, yeah. That's an interesting story structure. I can't say I agree with it, but bold choice, Lauren. Lauren woke up at 8 the next morning. I got to bed at like 3, woke up at 8. All right, quick turnaround. The next morning to smell some of his the smell of his mom cooking sausage biscuits and gravy for breakfast. Oh, come on.
But that's
Come on,
if you
everyone.
read that the way he has written it, that is what he's saying. The smell of his mum.
Mom cooking.
Have a fucking shower.
Okay. And heard the sound of the coffee pot brewing a fresh, hot pot of coffee. Slowly sat up in his bed and rubbed the sleep from his eyes, and then looked around the room for his clothes. After sliding on his pants and slipping into his slippers, he pulled a clean t-shirt from his dresser drawer, threw it over himself, and went out into the kitchen, where he greeted his mother with a kiss on the cheek and a polite good morning.
I was just
I'd
laughing
like-
at
oh,
Logan
man.
W in the chat saying, "Dear Mum, I fucked her brains out. Love, Aaron."
Yeah, right. That's what she's asking for. Like, are you kidding me? That's what, honestly, if my mom left me a note that was like, hey, how did the date go when I was 19? I would leave like the most gruesome, disgusting shit so she never asked me again. Don't you fucking ask that shit. You know how it went.
Yeah.
Also, kissed his mom, I think, 6 times in this book so far. So,
Absolutely.
weird stuff is happening.
It is very weird. It's very weird. And g'day, Witchert.
A smirk on your face. I'm guessing that you like this girl. His mother asked with a "you can't hide your feelings" look on her face. I don't know what the fuck that is. Yeah, I like her a lot.
The famous "you can't hide your feelings" look.
Is that famous in Australia? Does everyone in Australia have a
everyone.
"you can't hide your feelings"?
Yeah, everyone knows what that looks like. Just instantly you hear that and you're like, ah, you pulled that face.
I know the one. Okay, fair enough. It's not as common in the States.
Nah, it's
Yeah, I
very
like her a
Australian
lot,
thing.
he replied. He replied with a smile. He smiled at his mother's remark. Well then, tell me about her, she ordered with a smile on her face. He obeyed and began telling her about the night as he poured his cup of coffee. He told her this is the 3rd opportunity he's had to tell us about the date, and he just glosses over it.
Mm-hmm.
He told her about having a second date with her the next weekend and what she looked like. She was slightly overweight. They talked about her while they ate their breakfast, and then before they knew it, they finished the whole pot of coffee, and it was almost noon. So they talked about her for 4 hours. He's been on one date. They were at a movie and at a nightclub, and they went out to eat with another couple.
Yep.
And he talked about her for 4 hours.
Essentially the amount of time
Pretty.
that the date went for, or close to the amount of time that they gave
Yeah.
it gone for, he's actually talked about it. But still not actually told us anything about it.
Right. Good storytelling.
Yeah.
I've been sitting here talking with you about Kayla all morning, and I haven't gotten any of my housework done. I better get started on it before the day is over and it's time for bed again. His mother pet him on the arm and then got up and began doing her housework while Lorne finished his cup of coffee and thought about what he was going to do for the rest of the day. How about look for a job?
Well, you did.
What's
You
the
did
news
miss
on
a
that
line.
front?
You did miss a line there after she said that, where he said, "Don't worry, Mum. I'll help you. What jobs do we need to get done?" Oh, sorry. No, you didn't. You didn't.
Oh, right. I was like genuinely sure. I was like, what?
Because
That it sounded
Lorne
a
is
little bit
selfish
too
piece of
natural.
shit. Yeah.
Right. All right.
But yeah,
After
like
about
you said, how
15
about get a
minutes-
job? How about look for a job?
Go ahead.
Hmm.
I don't know what he's doing or planning on doing here. After about 15 minutes of contemplating, he decided he would give his car a good cleaning out, then wash and wax it. Is this the same car that he got that was at the beginning of the book?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Because, I mean, like, he wouldn't tell us if he got a new car. You know what I mean? Like, that wouldn't be important enough to tell the audience.
That's right.
Has
That's
his car
not
just been
important.
sitting around? I think it's just his old shitty car. He didn't want to be taking Kayla out on a date in a dirty car. Yeah, I don't believe she'd be too impressed with me. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm sorry to fixate on the car thing, but
No.
he's been home for like a week, longer. I don't know how long he's been home, but he's been home for a while and he hasn't driven anywhere. So his car has just been like sitting at their house, and
Yep.
he hasn't cleaned it yet or taken it anywhere, washed it, or gotten an oil change.
No. They just, you know,
Okay.
they just run without all that kind of stuff. And also, at the end of the day, if anything happens, you just buy a brand new car, a working car, and take whatever part has failed out of that and put it in
Okay.
the one that's broken. Like, I don't think you know how this works.
Right. You're right. I guess I'm wrong. You know what? This is almost like it's like setting up him getting a new car or having like some car work. You know what? This would be a decent setup for, oh, my car's broken. I got to go down to the shop, to the car shop, and my friend works there, and I get a job there because I know how to fix cars. Spoiler alert, that doesn't happen. Okay.
But he does make a point to say that he likes to, go to locally owned places to support local business because he's a good guy.
Oh, yeah, right. Absolutely.
Rather than those big, multinational mechanics, he supports the local.
Yeah, the little guy. He's gonna go back to that same one that put his radio in. Hey guys, I'm back.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't believe she'd be too impressed with me if I picked her up with my car looking as messy as it does right now, he thought as he set his empty coffee cup on the counter by the kitchen sink. It was only 3:30 in the afternoon when he finished his car, so he decided to go over to his sister Kelly's house and see his new nephew. His new nephew Hayden, that Kelly had when he was overseas in Iraq. He called her to make sure she was going to be home when he headed over. When he arrived, he found his brother-in-law Josh and his older nephew, Blake, playing pass with the baseball out on the front lawn. He stepped out of the car and closed the door just in time to catch his nephew jumping up into his arms. "Uncle Lorne!" Blake shouted in an excited voice as he wrapped his arms around Lorne in a death grip hug. Lorne smiled as he bared with the long, choking hug. What? Am I an idiot? I don't know what that means.
Lorne smiled as he bared with the long, choking hug. So I'm guessing he's saying,
He bared the long, choking hug?
He put up with it, you know what I mean? But it's a stupid thing to say. And I wonder if this nephew is on MySpace as well.
Oh my god. I wish that what's her name? Kelly? Whatever his sister's name is. I wish that Kelly had told him that his nephew was his niece or whatever, whatever it is.
Holy fuck, it's not Kelly, is it?
He decided to go over to his sister Kelly's house.
Holy, that's fucking Kayla's mum.
Oh my god.
This motherfucker.
Oh my god, I can't believe that.
If there's a Brad in this anywhere, I'm done. Like I won't be able
Blake
to
is
go on.
pretty close.
It-
Blake, Brad, you know.
Jesus Christ, Lorne. Like, this is ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous on two fronts. A, you obviously can't come up with any fucking names other than you've heard. And B, this is your fucking crime. This is what destroyed your life. Stop using their fucking names. My
Yeah, and
God.
it's strange because, maybe it hadn't been 3 years since he did it. So how could he remember these names if it hadn't been 3 years? And as Shin said, I don't know, Cornville, do they call it pass down under? Because they certainly don't call it in the United States pass. Like catch.
No, we would say catch. We would say go play catch. No, definitely not pass.
Ugh.
Like, and g'day, I dyed it by myself and sprinkle cake and yeah, I think that's all.
Right, hi Blake, I missed you too. Lawrence strained the words as he tried cope with the bear hug. Blake released his arms as he drew back and looked at his uncle in a hero worship kind of way. Don't know what the fuck that means. It's the same as earlier, the you can't hide shit from me face in a hero worship kind of way. How long can you stay here? He asked. For a little while, Lorne replied as he set Blake back on the dirt driveway. I have a dirt driveway, that's weird. Cool, Mom's inside with Hayden. He's only 6 months old, so Mom says he has to stay inside where it's cool, Blake spat out.
Look, just on that dirt driveway, so a couple of things. Like, and it is difficult because you get no real actual description usually of the place or that. So I think a lot of the time I've kind of padded out what the area they live in and that kind of thing, like, whether it's rural or whether it's more kind of suburban, that kind of thing. I've just padded that out myself. But I've always pictured this to be like a real kind of suburban,
Oh no, not me.
almost. Haven't you? You've pictured it more rural?
Oh yeah, so I grew up in a small town, and there was like literally the wrong side of the tracks, where there were like these shitty houses, and a friend of mine lived over there, and like when I'd go over there, everybody had dirt driveways. They were like every house was like mildly dilapidated. It wasn't.
Yeah,
It was the bad side of town, and that's what I've been picturing here.
Well, see, that's really interesting because that's what that caught me like. That took me aback when it said dirt driveway purely because Lorne has done no work here. He's put no kind of description in. He's done nothing of that. I think we've just filled in with our own experiences. And like I grew up in a real kind of suburban area, so I'm really just kind of picturing it like me. So I'm like, dirt driveway, like where the fuck are we? But okay, it is most likely probably more rural than if they've got dirt driveways.
Yeah, I would think so. It's Indiana, and I kind of I don't live close to Indiana, but I live in the Midwest, and it's all the same shit in the Midwest. So I'm pretty sure this is like my hometown that I grew up in.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
Shin says he's going to buy his nephew who hero worships him some short shorts.
Oh my god.
G'day,
It made me
April
feel
the
good. That's right. Don't want him to get a sunburn, Lawrence said as he looked away from his nephew and reached his hand out to his brother-in-law to shake it as he approached. Third handshake of the chapter. Keep him.
So much fucking handshaking. And g'day,
Smokey,
honest. And yes, we are money girls, Evil. You like a money.
And Smokey, this is set in Indiana. So I'm not. Hey, Indiana's great. Larry Bird.
Backtrack.
I think Parks and Rec is my favorite show. So don't come at me with that Indiana hate. Hi, Josh. Hi, Lorne. How's it feel to be home? Josh asked. Feels good. Different, but good, he replied. Blake, why don't you lead the way to show Uncle Lorne your new baby brother? Josh ordered. Maybe he'll come out and play pass with us for a little bit before he leaves, too. Blake obeyed and looked up at Lorne. Will you play pass with us before you leave, Uncle Lorne? Yes, I will. Lorne smiled and ruffled Blake's hair. Cool, Blake, exhausted. He's like a vehicle now. He's exuding exhaust. As he jumped up and down. Ellie is probably in the kitchen cooking supper. She'll be happy to see you, Josh explained.
Fucking
She's
Kelly.
been wondering... Jesus. She's been wondering when you would come over to visit us, so she was happy when you called to let her know you were coming. Okay, I just want to pause here for a second. She didn't go to his thing, like his coming home party, and she hasn't come over to see him? Does she fucking hate him?
Well, that's right. Like, why he's been home for what, a couple of weeks now, and
I think so. It's unclear.
this is the first time they've seen each other. Like, he's been away at war, come back from war, and had severe, apparently severe psychological issues, and she hasn't been to see him whatsoever. I mean, I don't understand any of this. Like, I just don't understand. And like, I mean, but they're apparently good enough, on good enough terms that she's happy for him to just, waltz in. She's going to make dinner for them. Happy for him to fucking, pick up her kid and all that kind of shit. And look, as Shin said before, he did ask if we could at least admit that Aaron is great with kids and kids love him. And look, that's very true. And look, even when he was a kid, he loved kids.
Right.
So that's a good point.
And strangely enough, kids in this book talk very strangely, not like kids at all, even really. It's almost like a pedophile is writing a child.
Yes.
It's very strange.
Well, a lot of them talk like, the kids from Children, what is it? Children of the Corn, whatever the fuck that movie was. Like,
Right.
And g'day Omega Heber and goes to Tony Farmer. Great to see you both.
Blake opened the entrance door, and Lorne and Josh followed him inside. Lorne stopped Blake and put his finger to his lips to signal shh. Then walked past Blake, moving through the living room, and then slowly and quietly moved towards the kitchen, where he could hear his sister moving dishes about and talking to the baby. He peeked around the corner to see where she was standing. She was standing with her back to him, so he moved and stood in the kitchen doorway, then purposely made a throat-clearing noise. He could tell he succeeded in surprising her when she jumped and spun around at the sudden and unexpected sound. Okay, that made very little sense. So he's scaring his sister while she's cooking?
Yeah. I don't, like, why? Like, I don't know why he would be doing that. Like, and g'day 180 degrees.
This is like, he keeps trying to do these little, like, quirky little, like, fun things, but he has no experience with people to know what would be, like, closeness, quote-unquote, in his words.
Yeah. And, like, he'd just be
oh my god,
fucking
Lord!
movies and shit he's watched. Or, Little House on the Prairie and shit like that. They
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
do this kind of shit in that.
I'm sorry, Drive. I'm doing my best.
Wow,
She
call
yelled
out.
as... I know, right? Wow, what an asshole. Alright, she yelled as she walked briskly over to him to give him a tight hug with one arm and held the baby in the other. How long have you been standing there? She asked with a smile on her face. Not long. How's my new nephew doing? He asked as he put his finger to the baby's chin. See, right here, he's testing whether or not the baby is male or female. If the baby doesn't...
That's words out of my mouth. I think your new baby's a rooster, baby.
Is he anxious to have a name?
Let's call him Brad.
Oh my God.
Because
He's being a little brat today.
Because that's what fucking Kayla and his kid, if it happened to be a son, which would have really fucked him off, he was like, oh, whatever, let's call it your dad's name.
Oh, God. Being a little brat today. He doesn't want to be put down, she answered. Lorne reached his hands out to take his little nephew, Hayden, away from Kelly. Let me hold him for a bit. Give your arms a break. Gladly, she replied with a sigh of relief that someone had rescued her arms from the feeling of wanting to fall off from the strain of continuously holding the baby.
Oh,
Holy
okay,
run-on
like,
sentence.
like just say her arms, like, you know, her arms were heavy, or like her arms wanted to fall off. Like, why do you have to say rescued her arms from the feeling of wanting to fall off from the strain of continuously holding the baby? Like, it's just, it's a lot of this reads like when you're at school and you had to do like a 2,000 word essay and you're just padding that thing the fuck out so you don't have to put more content in there. Like, this is like, but he wasn't given a word count he had to reach up to. Like, this is just stupidity. And even the words
What's
he
the
uses,
point?
rescues her arms. Like just someone tell him he's a great guy so he'll shut the fuck up. And
Yeah.
G'day,
even
Alison
know where
Marie
to start.
Armstrong and Tracy Hamill.
Lorne pulled the baby close to him as the baby stared in surprise at the new person that was now holding him. Lorne flipped the baby's nose with his finger and said, "Boink." Hayden gave Lorne a comical giggle when he pulled his finger back. Is this baby sedated? Are these people druggies? Like, there's no way a baby would be like, "Oh, yeah, sure. Just take me, strange man," especially a man. Like, I don't know. This
I've
is
got
not
friends
right.
that are druggies. It's a question.
My druggy friends told me babies like to be held by people who got it fresh out of the military and have an angry aura to them.
Oh.
Wouldn't it make him giggle too hard, Lorne? He's liable to pee on you anytime. Anytime, Kelly explained. Oh yeah? I just realized he doesn't have a diaper on under his outfit, Lorne replied. Yeah, I need to have Josh go to the store for me. I just realized about 15 minutes ago that I was out of them, Kelly said as she gave a knowing look toward her husband, so she wouldn't have to ask him again later.
What? No. He can't not have a fucking diaper. Your husband should, as soon as that happens, should be going to the fucking store to get diapers. He's just walking around pissing and shitting wherever in his pants, basically. Like this is ridiculous.
This don't think that they have a car. I think that that's what's happening. That's why they weren't at his party, and that's why they can't go to the store to get diapers. Like, I guess the bus isn't running this late, and no, I don't want to poverty shame them, but this is irresponsibility. Come on, folks.
They're all as useless as fucking Lorne. Like, I mean, so if they don't have a car, and that would it mean like, you know, you have to plan probably much further ahead when you go to the shops to make sure you've got everything to last you for ages. And also, fucking, you have a kid, like, you get so many diapers you don't know what to do with because all they do is piss and shit. Like, they piss, shit, and sleep. That's all they do. Like, you're going to go through those things. Like, and just roaming around without a diaper on. I really wished he'd fucking shit on Lorne. Like, that would have made
I dyed it by myself. Just said that's how they do it in Indiana. Okay. You should have asked me to pick some up on the way here, Lauren scolded. Yeah, fucking great idea, Lauren. I would have if I would have known at time. Like I said, I just realized it about 15 minutes ago, Kelly replied. Oh, I see. Want to stay for dinner? Kelly asked as she began preparing the evening meal. Lauren gave it a couple moments consideration, then asked, how long before it's ready? This guy, he's like, if it's not within 15 minutes, I need to eat every 15 minutes. I'm a strange sort of diabetic where I need to eat every 15 minutes.
Well, man, eat up. Like, it is so much eating. Like, he...
Why did he have to ask? Just say yes. Just say yes or no. Pick a fucking lane, Lauren.
Oh.
About an hour. Why? Do you have a date in an hour? Do you have a date? Kelly asked with a smirk on her face. So I see you've talked to Mom, huh? He cajoled. He loves cajoling. Yep, she told me about your new girlfriend. She's not my girlfriend yet, Lauren replied with a smile. She will be, though. She said yes to a second date with you, so she will be.
What?
Said, believing her point was justified. No. Any incels in the chat, No, that's not how it works. People say yes to a second date every time. You end the date. Yeah, we should do this again sometime. 100% of the time.
I,
Okay, it's fucking ridiculous.
I don't like. Why even say that? Like, so what if someone accepts your invitation to a second date? Basically, you're now married. I mean, I don't know why we're shocked by this. This is basically, I mean, Lorne thinks that if you talk to him on the phone for a second time, you're married. So I don't know why this is a shock. I take it all back.
It's so stark how obvious his lack of like experience in the dating world is in parts like this. It's like, that does not mean that at all, Kelly.
Yeah, and
You
like
need
this
to
is when
fucking
you
take care
read
of your
stuff
kid.
like this, it just also enforces. I mean, as I've made clear, I'm very much on the he's a virgin train. But this is if he's had sex, it's not through meeting someone, dating, and then eventually like it's not that like if he has, it is through like a really drunken one night stand. But I don't think he would have pulled that off. A, because he doesn't have the wherewithal about him to do that, and he's not going to be anyone's last minute. I just want to go home with someone choice. There's always going to be a better option there. But also, if he did come up with that, he would stalk the fuck out of them. Like the reason, personally, I feel like I know he's never hooked up with someone like that because either he would have held them, or he would have took them captive, or he would have another charge on his record for stalking. Like he's not the kind of person that'd be like, okay, look, that was fun, have a great life. He would be like, we had sex, we are boyfriend and girlfriend now. Like he would not let
Pick
them
up that.
go. And g'day, Frank.
Yeah,
Garfield.
look at Mickey. I mean,
Yeah,
Mickey
exactly.
and him presumably didn't do anything, and he was stalking her. And also Paula, she was like, by his own admission, they weren't dating. They didn't do anything.
Mhm.
She was just nice to him.
Mhm.
Like, what? That's
That's
weird.
it. And
So-
didn't. And I mean, it gets all very confusing. But wasn't Paula like with one of his brothers or something at one point, or?
She was engaged. She had broke off her engagement, and she was, I guess, friends with one of his brothers. So, in my personal theory, I think that like she was friends with his brother. Lauren was living with his brother at the time in Washington State. So she would have just been nice to him, like,
Absolutely.
hey,
Like
champ,
surface
I bet-
level niceness. Like, oh, g'day, Lorne. Good to see you
Yeah.
again. And that would have been like,
Yeah, and she was
good to see me again. You said good to see me again. Oh my God! I've got to tell Mum we're getting married. It was
We're
good to see
getting
me
married.
again.
She's probably the only woman that he talked to in Washington, and that's
Yeah.
why he loves Washington so much. He had this magical whirlwind romance where a woman said, "Nice to see you again."
You said
Yeah.
nice to see him. Nice to see him again.
What the fuck? Where was it? So is that a yes to staying for dinner? Kelly reached for an answer. Yeah, I guess so. He answered. What are we having?
Ham.
Baked potatoes and corn on the cob. He had that last night. What he had, that's what his mom made for him. Those are the three same ingredients. Potatoes, ham, and corn on the cob.
I think it was actually peas, but it was peas, right?
Okay, well, I'm sorry. Ham and potatoes, and that was at his coming home party, and he knows
Fucking
three things: ham,
do not
potatoes,
be-
and corn.
Do not be a pig in Indiana. That is the shortest lifespan of any animal. All this prick eats is ham.
Sounds good. Doesn't this little guy have a problem chewing on the ham, though? He asked jokingly. Ha
Okay,
ha.
he is actually joking. I thought they were
Smiled.
actually going to feed this kid ham.
Well, they might. These people are not the most responsible parents in the world.
It's the
Gets
worst
that
story
mushy
ever.
stuff that comes in that little jar that says Gerber on it. Me to feed him for you right now, or does he eat at the same time we do? Lauren inquired. He's gonna be such a great father. He's asking all these questions. guy. If you want to feed him right now, you can, and then maybe you can rock him to sleep, and we can talk over dinner without the interruption of the baby, Kelly answered as she plopped the corn on the cob into the big kettle full of water.
Just like throwing it in there.
Okay, Lord.
Boiling water going everywhere around this kid as she throws
He
fucking
plopped
corn in there.
Splashes of boiling water everywhere. Okay, Lauren agreed. Where's his bib? Nick, would you get Uncle Lauren a bib from the baby drawer, please? Kelly
They
asked
could have
her
used
son.
a bib as a fucking
I wonder
diaper.
what. Yeah, or maybe the paper towels. I don't know. I don't have children, but what are you doing? And what are the other people doing? This is just a back and forth between Kayla and Lauren. Did they leave? Are they still here? This is. I don't think you can comprehend a dialogue of more than one, like two
Oh
people.
no, definitely couldn't keep up with that. I don't think.
Because Smokey the cat, he couldn't just say baby food. He had to be cute and colorful, and it's the little stuff that comes out of the jar that says Gerber. Because more words is better.
Unless it's about an actual important
Uncle-
plot point, then word economy all day.
Yeah, unless it's something in Lauren's real life, then well, I don't remember. We're confused. I don't remember. All that bullshit.
It was messed up
Lauren,
at the time.
I thought. But yeah, exactly. I thought you said you'd play pass with us before you left, Blake asked on his way to the baby drawer. If we don't get to play pass this time, then next time I come over and we'll play, okay? Lauren responded to his nephew. Promise? Blake asked with an innocent look that only a child can hold. I promise, Lauren said. With this setup here, Lauren, you'll have all the practice you need for when you have kids. Kayla would be impressed to see you right now. Kelly said with a smile. This setup here, Lauren, what does that mean? Am I having a stroke? What does this mean? I don't
With
understand
this
this.
setup here, Lorne, you'll have all the practice you need. So that the setup is their house, like their house with the kid. Like that's the setup is.
Feeding a baby? Like, with this setup, that's one of the first lines in this book that has genuinely confused me. I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
It's in the chat for my brain cells, everyone. Cute, Lauren
And
said as he
as
smiled back at
Cybersqueak
his
says,
sister.
as Cybersqueak says in the chat, why say many word when few do trick? I love fucking Kevin.
Right, good point. Thank you, Kevin Malone. Cute, Lauren said as he smiled back at his sister. He went about feeding the baby until the little jar was completely empty. Even though a lot of the food landed on Lauren and the bib, still amazed at how much the little tyke could fit in his stomach. After Lauren finished feeding Hayden, Kelly cleaned him up and let Lauren rock him to sleep. Once the baby was asleep, Lauren was able to slip out unexpectedly to Blake and play pass. Blake was thrilled about all three of them playing pass together. Once dinner was ready, Kelly beckoned to them to come wash for dinner. They talked with Lauren during dinner, mostly about Kayla and his plans for staying in the military or getting out. Lauren had been undecided before. These are like the choppiest sentences ever.
Yeah.
But the army was pressing him to get out. They didn't think it would be good for him to stay in after what happened to him in Iraq.
What, they
Now,
don't-
after
what?
meeting Kayla,
They don't. The army doesn't press people to leave. If they're not fit for service, then they, what's the word? Discharge them or whatever.
they'll. Right, yeah.
Like
They're not
it's-
going to be like, well, what do you think, Lauren? Do you think we've been sitting around having meetings about you, and we're not sure that this is the best thing for you. Like,
really,
get the fuck out.
really think about it. We just want what's best for you. And look, if you come back to us and say you think you're up to it, then we're willing to give you a shot, mate. Like, no, fuck all, fuck you, fucking cunt. Oh.
After meeting Kayla, Lauren could feel his thoughts leaning towards getting out. Right, he went on one date with some chick to a movies and a nightclub, and now he's like, you know what? I should reorient my entire life. Stayed a couple more hours after dinner and then decided he'd better go home. He wanted to go and visit his little brother the next day, and he wanted to wake up early and do it and surprise him. Okay, so now he has a little brother. I don't remember this.
No, I've not heard of
His little
brother
brother.
before.
I don't even remember it from when they read it on Andrew Burkett's channel. I don't remember a little brother.
No, I don't recall it either. But I mean, clearly it's there. But yeah, like it's if he's been like this is the only time he's mentioned.
Okay.
Is it Michael?
Well, I'm sure it'll serve some really important story relevance to get the plot moving. I'm sure it won't be just a nothing burger like going to see his sister and her
Of
newly
course.
born son.
Of course.
All right, that's chapter 6.
All right. Should we keep going to chapter 7?
Can, if you're game.
How long is it? Hang on. Let's have a quick scan. Wow, it's pretty fucking long. And is chapter 7 the sex?
I think so. I mean, with how fast everything progresses, it pretty much has to be. I think if they have sex in this chapter and get married and maybe have a kid in chapter 7.
Oh, well, let's keep going. We'll see how we go, eh? Do you want me to take over?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't drink all last month, and this month I'm back drinking, and I've been. This is our first Broad Tuesdays.
Yep.
Where I'm having a drink.
Lovely.
I was kind of fading a little bit towards the end, so you
Bud
take
Light?
it here.
You drink Bud Light?
No Bud Light, unfortunately.
All right, chapter 7. It was almost 9:30 p.m. when Lorne walked in the door and found his mother sitting on the couch watching TV and enjoying a bowl of popcorn and a cup of tea. Hi, Mum. I didn't know you'd still be awake or not. Oh, sorry, I didn't know if you'd still be awake or not. Lorne spoke as he moved to the kitchen sink for a glass of water. Yep, but not for much longer. Did you have a good time? That's bad. Yep, but not for much longer. Did you have a good time over at Kelly? She asked. Yes, I did. The baby is cute, he answered. Kayla called for you while you were gone, his mother informed him with a broad smile. Lorne looked at his mother surprisingly. What did she say? She said she just called to talk so you two could get to know each other better. She said you can call her back tomorrow night if you want to. She sounded nice, his mother said to encourage him to call her back. Why? Why does she need to say she sounded nice to encourage? He has talked about how basically this woman has changed his life. He's considering does he go back to the army or not. He was struck by her beauty so much that he sat there with his fucking jaw hanging open. But he needs to be encouraged to call her back apparently.
She really wants grandkids, Cornville.
Yeah.
She's like, fuck it. She's throwing caution to the wind. I'm getting grandkids. More grandkids, because she already has grandkids.
As Drive 137 says, she sounded so sweet. She's very nice. She's very nice, Lorne emphasized the words when he spoke them. I want to get up early and go surprise Brady. Don't worry about making any breakfast for me.
It's very close to Brad.
It is fucking one letter off
away
Brad.
from Brad.
And knowing Lorne, he
Oh,
probably
God.
pronounces that Braddy.
Right.
And who the fuck is Braddy? And if this is a recurring character, I'm going to change his name to Brad. Don't worry about making him eat breakfast for me. I'll grab something at McDonald's. Good night. He kissed his mother on the cheek and found his way down the dimly lit hall to his bedroom and retired to bed. Why does she need to make him food all the time? Like, isn't he 19 or 20 or some shit?
Hmm. He's so. Don't worry about making me breakfast. I'll get something. Like, he has to tell her. Very presumptuous.
Yeah, exactly. Like, What if she turned around and said, "Well, I wasn't gonna fucking make you any. Like you're an adult, make your own breakfast, dickhead."
Right.
And Chupa grandson says, "Interesting, they're talking over the phone to get to know each other." So he is speaking.
Right,
He
yeah.
is talking from what he knows. And Smokey the cat left for 5 minutes. Did she miss anything integral to the plot? Not at all. You probably could have left for
You
an
mean
hour
plot.
and missed nothing.
Yeah. What are you, insane? This book doesn't have a plot. It's just things happening.
You idiot. After taking a quick wake-up shower the next morning, he drove over to surprise his little brother. He stayed for a few hours visiting and catching up on things with him, then went back home. He didn't have any other plans for the day, so decided to clean the house for his mother. She was happy to
That's
see a
nice.
clean house when she got home from work, so she could just sit down and relax for a change. Oh, good on ya.
You do that every day. He's home every day.
Yeah, that's right.
Do something. You're not
Yeah.
looking for a job. Fucking do something, asshole.
He's home, he doesn't contribute anything, so he should always be doing that. And g'day, Dupee's fashion consultant. Around 7, after eating dinner, Lorne called Kayla and they talked on the phone for about 2 hours. He was amazed that the more he talked to her, the more he liked her. Most girls have scared him off by calling him, but she was different.
Oh, God.
What? Or maybe it was him who was a different person from the person he used to be. He played with that thought, then tossed it aside after realizing that it didn't matter. It didn't really matter. He liked Kayla a lot, and that's what he cared about. So why would most girls scare him off by calling him? No.
He's so in demand. He's such, he's a strapping young lad who's handsome, and all the girls at school just, they wanted him, but they called him too much. Scared Aaron off. But now, he's a man now. He's gone to war, and this slightly chunky girl, he wouldn't have gone out with her before when he was in high school. But now he's like, you know what, I can look past it.
Yeah.
I'm willing to settle down with a slightly chunky bitch.
The week went by fast, and before Lorne knew it, it was Saturday. He had remained nervous all day about his date with Kayla, but once he had picked her up and they had started talking, Lorne never even thought about his nerves and was completely comfortable around Kayla all night. He felt better when she mentioned how comfortable he made her feel also. They had gone roller skating at Roller King skating rink, and Lorne had a great time, especially when Kayla held his hand on the couple's turn only. What? Especially when Kayla held his hand on the couple's turn only and pretended to slip and fall so she could get closer to Lorne. She nearly knocked him over too, but with the help of the railing being there, he was able to recover himself quickly, even with Kayla's added weight against him. Oh, Lorne! When the last song played, it was for both couples only, and Kayla skated backwards with Lorne skating with a little more confidence than he had when the night had started. He slowed them both purposely and backed her against the wall and gave her their first kiss. He gave her their
That's
first
not
kiss.
cool.
Fucking
That's
hell.
not cool,
Pinned
bro.
her
That's
against the
very
wall.
intimidating.
That's
Yeah.
like this all has a real rapey feel to it. Like he backed her
Yeah, this
against
is
the wall
not
and
cool.
he gave her their first kiss. They didn't share their first kiss, or they didn't kiss. He gave it to her. She welcomed it with her eyes closed, and the heat between them grew. She drew back and pushed him slowly backward, and then led them both over to the bench, smiling broadly all the way.
Are they at the roller rink?
They're at the roller rink.
They're
like-
just making out in public?
He is pushing her against the wall and kissing her. She is then, presumably while they're still kissing, pushing him back onto the bench. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And g'day, Purple Drank Yoshi. And
This
Lord's
isn't
on
even
Climb the
Hallmark
Ladder.
brain. This is really inappropriate.
Yeah.
You don't pin someone and start making out with them forcibly in public. Like,
Yeah,
I have real qualms with this.
I don't like it at all. Once Lorne got his skates off, he stood and stumbled to a pole to catch himself after taking his first step. His hours of having wheels attached to his feet had thrown his equilibrium off, and the fumbling had made him feel embarrassed. I'm assuming he sat down when he took his roller skates off. So why didn't he wait until he wasn't feeling dizzy until he stood up? He turned and admired the dimples in Kayla's cheeks as she laughed at his clumsiness in walking, stumbling and clutching the pole. She picked up her skates, walked up to him, and took his hand in hers. "Come on, I'll catch you if you fall," she said with a flirty sarcasm that he found exciting. She smiled at her comment and asked, "Do you promise?" Okay.
Okay. Little writing note here. The kiss should have come after this. This is kind of cute. You know, come on, I'll catch you if you fall. They're building rapport. You know what? It's because we haven't gotten any dialogue between these two so far. But the kiss should come after we build a little, flirtatious. I'll catch you if you fall. Do you promise? Only if you're good. It's backwards. That's what makes it so uncomfortable, and also the rapey vibes of pinning someone against the thing. But.
As Evil Lemmy Nugget says, every time you send a picture, I want to see those fucking dimples.
Right.
Yes, she retorted.
Right.
If you're good, she returned with a wink. Lorne pulled in the driveway of Kayla's house and turned the car off. They slowly walked hand in hand until they reached her door, where she turned to stand face to face with him. As she glared into his eyes, he moved his hand to cup the nape of her neck and moved his mouth to meet hers. They kissed passionately for a long heated moment that made her whole body tingle with want. She couldn't think, and he couldn't breathe. Her tongue exploring the inside of his mouth made him forget how to breathe. She didn't know if she fell into him or if he had pulled her to him, but she had to somehow regain control of herself so that he didn't end up in her bed after only the second date. Then the phone rang inside her house and she was able to push back away from him and give him a melting smile as she slid her hand slowly out of his and asked, "Call me tomorrow." Okay. Okay, he agreed. She gave him one last peck on the lips and said, "Good night, Lorne." Good night.
Oh God, that's the worst fucking second date in the world. These two are just the.
They're awful.
I don't know.
I hate them both. Like, okay, he agreed. Oh, sorry. Good night, Lorne. Good night, Kayla. And when she said good night, he is not hyphenated good night, but he's hyphenated when he says it. And given that they're directly below each other in the lines there, I would have thought one of the three fucking editors could have picked that up. But in any case,
well, it's the accent. Kayla has an accent. Maybe Lauren has an accent. I'm not sure.
Fucking sounds like Lorne's been hit in the head. He waited for her to get
like
inside.
A true virgin, says the Duchess of Cornville. Very accurate for and like someone who's never been on a fucking date.
He waited for her to get inside her house and close the door before returning to his car, smiling all the way. Things were going great with Kayla, and he was ecstatic about it. So he's just, while she is going back in the house and closing and presumably locking her door, he's just standing there staring. Creepy prick.
Oh, God.
Lorne couldn't get the glowing look off his face, even by the time morning came around. He woke up with the smell of ham, eggs, and coffee drifting across his nose. He lifted like one of those like a fucking Looney Tunes cartoon. He lifted himself out of
he's
bed,
floating to the kitchen.
Yeah, and threw some shorts and a tank top on, and made his way to the kitchen in his slippered feet, greeting his mum with a drowsy, "Good morning." "Good morning back to you," she replied. "By the looks of your face, you and Kayla had a good time last night," she said in assumption and sarcasm. "How can you tell by the look on my face?" he asked. "Well, your smirk for one, and the lipstick smudges that are all over your lips have helped my estimation a bit," she retorted with a grin. Lorne's face grew red with embarrassment. "I'll be right back. I forgot to wash my face," he said with a red face and a smile. He noticed his mother grin grow as he turned to make his way to the bathroom and wash Kayla's lipstick off his face. When he returned, he indulged himself in the perfectly cooked breakfast with his mother and then talked with her about his date with Kayla while they drank their coffee. Over the next couple of months, Lorne and Kayla spent more. So nothing's happened in months
Okay.
here.
I'd also like to point out, apparently he didn't wash his face before he went to bed. Like, this is a disgust. He's 19 years old. You're 19. Wash your fucking face. Or take a shower when you get up or do something.
Exactly.
Is he completely incompetent in every area of life?
Yes.
What are you doing?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Over the next couple of months, Lorne and Kayla spent more and more time with each other and became very close. Lorne had brought Kayla to his mum, his sister Kelly and her family, and his brother Brady and his girlfriend. Lorne could tell his feelings for Kayla was growing very strong when he started calling her in the middle of the day just to talk to her. Then the night came when they both could no longer contain their feelings for each other.
Wait.
Here we
wait,
go!
Wait, before we get into the creamy centers and the expelling damnness, let's just talk about how at the beginning of this chapter he was going to meet Brady. Never met him. Promise not delivered on. We left on that cliffhanger. Also, he took his girlfriend to meet his mom. Okay, fair enough. Meet your mom. Then to meet his sister and her family. And then to meet his brother, and I guess just his brother. Has he met anyone in her family? Does she have a family?
Well, he doesn't need to
That important?
find out anything about her family because they're about to not exist. Once you're Lorne's girlfriend, all that matters is his family. And he fully plans to isolate her as quickly as possible because that's what
Right.
Lorne does.
You better stop talking to them cocksuckers right away, because you're a part of my family. You got to meet mom.
Yeah. You better get your fucking mother out of our lives.
Oh my God.
Where are we?
Month after their first
Middle of the
time.
day to talk to. Okay, then the night came and they couldn't hide their feelings for each other and lost themselves in the heat of passion. A month after their first time of lovemaking, Lorne took Kayla to a fancy romantic restaurant. Okay, so this isn't the sex scene yet, but why, if they're going to do a sex scene, why is it not on the first time? Why do they decide the next random time that they fuck? Like, I don't get it. Like, was
I don't
Lorne
know.
just not horny at this
The
point of
track.
writing it? And g'day the
Oh,
cool
well, that's...
nightmare.
He was. Always horny.
After they were finished eating, Lorne took her to a pier, got down on his knees, and proposed to her. Kayla had already
Oh.
known. Hey?
Well, he proposed to her? Where did he take? Did he take her to a fancy restaurant in their town? Did they go to Indianapolis? And also, there's a pier.
Just a
Indianapolis isn't on Lake Michigan. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Kayla had already known almost from the time that her and Lorne first met that he was the one she wanted to marry. She let him slide the engagement ring on her hand after she said yes, then gave him a long, mind-losing kiss that led them back to her house. So they're just kissing the whole way back to their house, just walking backwards while kissing in the car all the way to their house. When Lorne turned
Her
around,
house.
Her house, yes.
She has mysteriously. It's not her parents' house.
No,
a
no.
19-year-old just owns a house.
Oh, they all
Right.
own houses, except for Lorne. Lorne doesn't own a house. When Lorne turned around to leave after kissing Kayla goodnight, she gripped his hand tightly and pulled him back to her. She wrapped her arms around his neck and pressed her firm breast against his chest and then explored the cleft of his lip with her tongue, moving her tongue slowly along the rim of his lower lip, then pulled him into her house, closed and locked the door behind them. That sounds fucking awful, okay? Like, just fucking going all around the inside of his lip. And why does she only have one breast? And why has this not been a topic of conversation? Like, that is unusual. Like, wouldn't that have come up rather than her slight overweight?
He had one titty. Right, that's... This should be like 3 chapters. They get to know each other. He introduces him to his family. They go on a romantic getaway together. It's their first time a place to get. That's like a big deal when you go on your first trip with like someone. Nope, just one paragraph.
And do you know what I wonder now? So you remember the story he tells when Jamie Amy presses him about, well, tell me a story about a sexual encounter you
Valentine's
had
Day.
because I don't believe you. And he talks about the one-breasted woman that he fucked on Tony's bed.
Oh,
The same Tony that won't let him piss in his toilet but will let him fuck people on his bed. Is this like
course.
him thinking back to one-breasted Kayla in his book? Maybe.
Maybe.
I see no reason why you can't spend the night here tonight, Kayla exclaimed. She exclaimed it. I see no reason why
Yelled
you
it.
can't spend the night here tonight. Are you sure you want to do this? After all, you are an engaged woman now, Lorne said sarcastically. I mean, for someone that barely seems to understand sarcasm when you hear him on the phone, that is all he writes about in his book is sarcasm. I've never been more sure of anything in my life, she said as she led him to her bedroom. Once she turned on the dim light on the Once she turned the Once she turned the one dim light on that sat on her nightstand, she returned herself to his embrace and began exploring the inside of his mouth with her tongue again, finding each other getting more lost in the moment. The fires inside
Lost in the moment.
began to grow hotter as they lost their clothes and climbed under the covers of the queen-size bed. He slid his hand between her breasts and down her navel, then gently back up and slowly brushed his thumb against her already hardened nipple. So she honestly has one breast here. Like,
right, yeah. He's doubled down on it. He's tripled down on it.
and he's rubbing his hand between her one breast, like between what?
I don't know how that's possible.
Like is this the underside of her breast, like between her her chest and her breast?
I think her breast is so big that he could part the adipose tissue in half and go between it.
And then gently brushed his thumb against her already hardened nipple, her one nipple. The contact made her let out a heavy exhale. And he traced the V on her neck with his tongue. Oh my god, this is so gross. Like, trace the V in her neck.
V, like the clavicle bone? Am I an idiot? Is that what it means?
No, like
V in her neck.
Where is the V in your neck?
I think it's the clavicle. I think,
So he is tracing her clavicle.
She has one breast.
Tracing her clavicle with his tongue, then began moving toward her left breast. That is gross. Like, if
I feel like Kayla's like, can you fucking not do that? That's like the one place to not. It's not gonna turn me on.
I could not think of a bigger.
You're in no man's land. Yeah.
I don't.
Means her throat pushy. Got it. Okay. Thank you.
And g'day, stumble, repent, repeat. What a time to enter. Like, this is the opposite of arousing. The contact made her let out a heavy sigh and he traced it. Oh, we did all that. She memorized the form of the muscles in his back as she let his tongue and hands take their freedom of exploring her body. Why is she memorizing the form of the muscles in his back?
She's just like savoring every moment, I guess.
She moaned when he moved his hand to the core of her, as his the fucking core.
Right.
Like, how far inside her is he? As his fingers thrust
way in there
back and forth, her inner heat grew and expelled a dampness between her thighs that she had never before experienced to this extent. Her body was crying out for his manhood with every pleasurable stroke of his fingers made. So he is thrusting his fingers in and out of her. Like,
yeah, he's fingering her so hard that she's just like so much
is the dampness
fluid
blood?
is.
Has he like, you know, ripped something?
No, I think what he thinks is that like the more horny you get, the more, like lubricated a woman's vagina gets. So she's so horny for him that she's just expelling so much dampness. That's how that works. It's not an automatic function of your body. It's not like producing saliva. She, oh my God.
As,
A lot
as
of
Mr.
questions
C,
there.
as Mr. C said, he's fisting her because that's what it sounds like. Like this is like he is thrusting into her. Like that's like another
I'm
thing
very confused.
that Lorne has clearly not had sex. Like he just thinks that like you just like going like smack. Like
Start punching someone in the vagina. Like, no, Lauren, that's not right.
are you turned on yet? Are you turned on yet? Fucking hell.
It's like, no, I'm bleeding because you keep punching me. Stop.
Like this is so awful. I hate it.
Oh,
Okay. Lord rolled. Her moans grew into cries. Hang on a second. I've skipped.
no, he removed his fingers gently from her core,
Okay, thank you.
about to insert his manhood, quote unquote.
And feathered them back up to her right nipple. Okay, so she has two. She now has two breasts.
Spontaneously grown a second breast
That's how
because of
good-
how good the sex is. Yeah,
That's how
right.
good at Lorne is at fisting. He's fisted it out of her. Oh shit! I can't. Oh my god. He removed his fingers gently from a corner, feathered them back up to the right nipple, and pulled his body over the top of hers. He felt her heavy, erotic breath on his face as his erection brushed her wet center. Then she let out it's literally standing up on its own. Then she let out a gentle moan as he entered her body. Her moans grew into cries with every strong. I'd be fucking crying. Every strong inward push he threw. He threw her.
Through?
He is throwing pushes her way until the final cry of passionate release and satisfaction had come from them both. Lorne rolled over to
So
relieve.
we got like 2 seconds of actual sex. I just like to point out there was like moans grew into cries with every. Okay, so 1 sentence of actual sex. There was like a paragraph of him fisting her, and then 1 paragraph of sex.
That's
Okay,
right.
fair enough.
He's violently fisted her so much that basically 2 pumps that he threw her way, and it's all done. Lorne.
Did they do any oral sex? Like, would that be a sexy part of the book? Wouldn't that be something you'd want to explore with your partner for the first time? Like, this is so. You know what's weird about this? For someone
licking her clavicle, yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like for someone who thinks about sex so often, it's so generic. Like, really? This is all that you thought of? For the big epic, is it over? She asked. Oh my god.
And g'day, Vast Ravioli and All the Way Absurd. And look, her name isn't actually Kayla. The name in the book is Brooke, but I have changed the name. So the names of the main characters are Aaron and Brooke, but I've changed them to Lorne and Kayla because it mildly amuses me. But there's a lot of other names in there that are also from the Holy Lornography, so it's not that far off. Okay, he rolled off her to relieve his body weight leave her of his body weight. She laid her head upon his chest and muttered, "I love you," to Lorne. He returned with, "I love you too," as she rested her hand on his right bicep and fell asleep for the night. The next morning, Kayla opened her eyes and found herself contently wrapped around Lorne's body. She hated to remove herself from his unconscious embrace, but did so very easily so not to wake him. She flung her robe around her naked body and tied the rope securely. She stood there for a moment and stared at the diamond engagement ring on her finger and felt the warmth of love emanating inside her. A broad smile came across her face as she stood in front of the mirror, staring at herself and the ring, as Lorne's arms pulled her body close to his from behind. He kissed her ear gently and led her back to the bed, where he removed her robe and made love to her again before the day began. And we've all seen Lorne's fitness. He would not be able to have sex this much.
So anyone who doesn't think Lorne is a virgin, so you're wrong. Clearly, I have Exhibit A.
Yeah, I would like to present Exhibit A, and I rest my case. Lorne sat at the table and drank his coffee as he watched Kayla moving about the kitchen, making breakfast for the two of them. Of course. I mean, to be fair, they are at her house, so it probably, but still, I mean, Lorne has just got himself a mother, basically. And g'day, Desire. Nailed it. He wondered to himself how he had gotten so lucky to be paired with a woman that he could feel so much for. An inner smile grew as he took another sip of the hot coffee. He was finally happy and content, he concluded. He had finally found what his life was all about in the woman he was sharing his time with right now.
But the thing his life is all about is about having sex.
Yeah, it's done. He has achieved it.
Okay.
And that's the end of the book. After finishing their breakfast, they decided to drive to Lord's mother's house and give her the news. What, that they fucked? Like, they're going over there. Oh no, sorry, I forgot about the proposal.
Right, yeah, I forgot.
I really thought they were going over there to say that they fucked.
Oh my god, laid.
Oh, Mama Gwen, Lorne fisted the shit out of me last night. I've just stopped bleeding. She was so pleased that Lorne had chosen Kayla and that Kayla had accepted his proposal. She called Lorne's sister Kelly and told her the news and had Kelly come over at once. She then shooed Lorne out of the house as she, Kayla, and Kelly began making plans. Bullshit. Like, they just got engaged.
Yeah.
Lorne, and once again, where is Brooke's family to share in this joy? Where is the visit to Brooke's family? Lorne told Kayla that she could do whatever she wanted for the wedding, and if she wanted his opinion on anything, then just call him on his cell phone. You can call me on my cell phone. Kayla had called Amy to have her come over also and help start planning the wedding.
Wait. Big wrench into the story here. He has a cell phone. Why do people keep calling him on his house phone? He has a cell phone.
Well, that's a good point. And apparently Alison always tells her parents when she gets laid, and we're the weirdos, so...
Is it like that Lonely Island sketch?
Okay. Planning the wedding. Kayla had called Amy to have her come over also and help start planning the wedding. Seems how it is Amy and Derek that put Lorne and Kayla together. Kayla also wanted Amy to be her maid of honour. Lorne went over to his sister Kelly's house to help his brother-in-law with the kids, while the females were at his mother's house beginning the plans for the wedding. Lorne received a call from Kayla around 6 that evening on his cell phone. "Hi, honey," Kayla greeted. "Hi," Lorne returned. "Your mother asked me, Kelly, and Amy to stay the night here with her, so I thought you might want to know because Kelly wants to know if you'll stay there and help Josh with the kids," Kayla explained. "I don't know. Sounds like you ladies might be having too much fun there," he said sarcastically. "We are," she replied. "I'm having a great time." Lorne could hear the love and happiness in her voice, and it melted him to the core. Okay. Is he going to finger his core too? "Okay, call me when you wake up tomorrow morning and I'll come back over." "Okay, have a good night and I love you," she said, then ended with a phone kiss. So this Kayla gives good phone kisses, apparently. "Okay, I love you too. Bye." Lorne hung up the phone and gave his brother-in-law a look that said, "You're not going to believe what I'm about to tell you." But before he could say anything, Josh asked, "What are they doing over there?" "Well," Lorne started, "looks like it's us guys here at your house tonight. My mum asked all the girls to stay the night there, so we're stuck here. Kelly said she would call the kids to say goodnight before they go to sleep." "That would figure," Josh retorted. "Get women together for an event like this, and you can't separate them until the event is over." So what, they're going to...
My favorite line.
They're going to stay there until the wedding. By that, until the event is over. So basically, Lorne is essentially homeless for however long it takes for them to get married. Lorne
Homeless
is,
right now. He's living with his mom.
yeah,
Good job, asshole.
yeah.
Pissed off at this guy.
And you know, really sorry to Hayden and Blake. You're not going to see your mother again until the wedding's over. Lorne agreed with Josh as they both threw out a grin. If it were up to me, we would have just gone to the Justice of the Peace and gotten married, but I know that Kayla has always dreamed of a nice wedding, so who am I to deprive her of that, he stated. That's true. I know your sister loved planning our wedding. She didn't want me to make any decision without her knowledge. I got a kick out of it and just agreed with her all the way through the planning of it. I thought it would all work out better that way, Josh informed as he fell back in his memory. Look at what this means that this means that we're going to have to do our own cooking tonight. Do you trust me to cook while you take care of the baby? Lorne asked. Not hardly, Josh replied. We'll order pizza. Of course. Good choice. I'm afraid of my own cooking, much less having my nephew and brother-in-law taking a risk with their lives eating it, Lorne returned. Josh laughed at Lorne's joke about his own ability to cook as he picked up the phone and dialed the number to order the pizza. By the time the pizza had arrived, Josh had already...
Two adult men can't go, okay, you know what, we got some hamburger helper in the cupboard. I'll make that tonight.
Yeah.
Two adult men can't put their brains together and find out how to make spaghetti or some shit, really?
Of course not. They're not females. Only females could do that.
Right.
By the time the
Unless
pizza
you have
had
ovaries.
That's right. Had arrived, Josh had already fed the baby and laid him in the crib for the night, and he fell fast asleep. Lorne, Josh and Blake had set up the Hungry Hippo game in the middle of the table and continued to play it while they ate their pizza and drank their sodas. Kelly had called near the end of the game to say goodnight to Blake and her husband and to reassure Blake that she would be coming home in the morning. After hanging up the phone, the three guys finished the game and the pizza and retired for the night. Josh pulled a sheet, pillow and blanket out of the pantry in the hall and... What? The pantry? Is that different there?
I guess they're using... No, pantry is food.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the fuck's going on at this house. We've already discussed, these people don't know what the fuck they're doing. They got no diapers. Just a shit show over there.
Everything is in the pantry. Food, blankets. Okay, and set them up on the couch for Lorne to use. After retreating to his room, Lorne spread the sheet and blanket out on the couch, crawled under them and adjusted the pillow to where his head could rest comfortably. He lay there for about an hour, reminiscing about the night before, when he held the woman of his dreams in his arms. Slowly, he slid into a deep, soundless sleep. Somewhere in the middle of the night, Lorne began turning in his sleep. Oh, hang on, we're starting to move along here. He was having a dream about something that was haunting him. It was easy to see. He sat up straight and woke himself up with his sleep after yelling, "No!" Josh came running barefoot and in his pajamas from the bedroom to see what was going on and found Lorne soaked in sweat and pale as a ghost. He quickly ran next to his side and grabbed both of his shoulders as he sat in front of him. "Lorne, are you all right?" he asked with worry. Lorne turned, focusing his eyes on Josh after rubbing the sweat and tears away. "Yeah, I guess I had a nightmare." Josh let go of Lorne's shoulders and turned the lamp on. From the end table, "Do you have them often?" No, I don't. I haven't had any since the night I met Kayla," Lorne asked. "I think it might be a good idea if you see a doctor."
Fucking course.
"If you keep having them," Josh recommended. "Yeah, if it keeps happening, I will, but I'm sure it was just a fluke that I had this one," Lorne replied to ease his brother-in-law's mind and his own. Are you sure you don't want me to take you to see one in the morning? We don't have to say anything to anyone about it." "No, I'll be fine. Thanks anyway. Go back to bed, Josh. I'll be alright," Lorne ordered, feeling guilty about waking his brother-in-law. "Okay, let me know if you change your mind about seeing the doctor," Josh returned. "I will. Good night." Night. Josh went back to bed and left Lorne laying there as he wished. Lorne laid his eyes open in the dark, staring at the trees outside the window, and he could see from the light of the moon. He began to wonder, why did I have that nightmare after all this time of not having them? Why did the memories of the Iraq War start haunting him in his dreams again? Would they stop again after tonight, or would he have to deal with them every night again for God knows how long? He let the questions run through his mind as he slipped slowly back to sleep. Like he had a fucking nightmare. Like everyone has nightmares. Like I don't
He's an adult.
Like I don't understand. Like you had a nightmare.
In a book, in like a book, he would have his special night with Brooke, and all of a sudden we'd be transported to his dream. And then so it'd be like a contrast, right? He has a wonderful night, and it's broken up by his trauma. He can't have a good life without his trauma interfering. But instead, it's like a bunch of bullshit happens in between. He's away from Brooke, so it's not. This isn't right. This doesn't mesh.
Nah. And as Smokey the Cat says, take you to see someone in the morning. Do you think there's a therapy drive-through or an emergency room will cuddle you? The night moved on, and the morning came. Lorne's nightmare didn't return after falling back asleep. Before Lorne left to return to his mother's house, Josh asked him again, Lorne, I know that memories of what happened to you over in Iraq are bothering you because of the nightmare you had. It's no shame to get help with it if you need to. Are you sure you don't want me to take you to see a doctor? I'm sure, Lorne replied as he reached his hand out to shake Josh's. If I change my mind, I'll call you, but in the meantime, do me a favour and don't mention this to anyone. I don't need people worrying about me when there's nothing to worry about, especially with the wedding taking place.
A nightmare.
A nightmare. All right, you have my word, but don't forget, if you change your mind, let me know. Josh expressed to himself with a firm grip of Lorne's hand. Okay, Lorne muttered. I'll tell Kelly to hurry home to you. Lorne drove away and headed back to his mother's house to rejoin his fiancée. Josh, asking him about going to the doctor, jerked his mind back to the nightmare he had as he travelled along the 2-lane road. He couldn't figure out why his nightmare would return after not having one for so long. It's a fucking nightmare! He'd been feeling great and thought he'd gotten past all the bad things that happened to him in Iraq. He still had something that bothered him. He knew, but for the most part, he thought he felt secure. Or was his security just delayed because of all the new happenings in his life with Kayla and getting engaged? He finally pushed his thoughts aside when he pulled into his mother's driveway. He was surprised to find Kayla and Kelly had gone into Lorne's bedroom and packed everything up to move to Kayla's house.
What? So inappropriate. Dude, if I came home and I had just been engaged and my fiance had like packed up all my shit and was like, you're moving in with me. I'd be like, no, whoa, okay. We need to talk about the nature of this relationship.
No discussion whatsoever. They've just gone and done it. And g'day, Shuey. You are late, but I forgive you. And VA Hoss, g'day, mate. Here we are. After he loaded everything into the car, he returned to the house to have lunch with Kayla and his mother. With some serious fucking questions, I assume. Kelly had already left because she told Blake she would be back in the morning, and Amy had to leave so she could get her housework done before she went to work the next day. Lorne, Kayla, and Lorne's mother all sat down at the table and discussed the wedding further while they ate his mother's homemade chicken pie. And does Lorne's mother not have a name? Why is it always Lorne's mother? Like, why does she not have a name?
Exactly.
And g'day, Unreal SVT. It was one of Lorne's favourite dishes. After they finished eating, Kayla helped Lorne's mother gather the dishes from the table and wash them while Lorne gathered the rest of these things to move to Kayla's house. Once the dishes were done, they both gave Lorne's mother a hug, and Kayla thanked her for the great time and the help with some of the wedding plans. They said their goodbyes and drove off. On the way home, Lorne remained quiet, and Kayla asked him what was wrong. I had a nightmare last night about when I was over in Iraq, he told her. It was odd because I haven't had one since the night you and I met. I thought I was done having them. Maybe you should go see a doctor about it, she suggested. No, Josh said the same thing, but I'm sure it was just a fluke that I had another one. I'll be fine. Lorne claimed, and then tried to change the subject to get his mind away from the negative thoughts about it. So, did Mum, Kelly, and Amy help you a lot with the wedding plans, or was it more of a slumber party? Lorne asked with sarcasm.
Adults.
They're adults, exactly. It was a little of both.
Adults.
It was fun. I had a great time, Kayla returned. Good. I know my mum really likes you a lot. Did she tell you that? Kayla asked. Yes, she did. After she met you for the first time, he explained. Good. I like knowing I'll have a good mother-in-law.
No. Not what she said. She said she sounds really nice after the first time Kayla called. Get it right, Lorne. Come on. I'm reading your book. You gotta get it right. You're writing the book.
Good. I like knowing I'll have a good mother-in-law because of my family. Well, Lorne sighed with a smile. You definitely got what you wanted, and I did too because I got you. Okay, what about her family? We've heard nothing about her family, let alone, I mean, obviously that is alluding to, you know, her family and her aren't on good terms, or maybe a lot of, you know, her parents died. Like, you know, there is something there to know, but why don't we know it? And has that not come under their courtship? Because, look, I'm not expecting Lorne would be a big ass real question because he's a selfish motherfucker. But if that hasn't been heard before, and, you know, she said, I'm glad I've got a good mother-in-law because of my family, isn't your next question, what's the go with your family, honey? Like, what, you know, why have I never met them? Like, what's going on here? Nothing. Fucking nothing.
If you introduce someone to, like, your entire family and you're about ready to propose to them, why haven't I met any of your family or friends? Like, that's a really big red flag.
Yeah.
This isn't good.
Mate, I might get you to take over there. I've just got to go return a quick call. So, over to you.
Okay, sounds good. Well, Lorne sighed with a smile. You definitely got what you wanted, and I did too, because I got you. Aw, Kayla smiled at Lauren's comment as she slid her hand in his. Scooter scooted closer to him and kissed him on the cheek, and rested her head on his shoulder while she drove. They finally returned to Kayla's house. They unloaded Lauren's belongings and brought them into the house to unpack. Found an empty cardboard box in Kayla's basement that he used to put all his military uniforms and certificates in, and placed it in the attic after labeling it on the box. I don't know what he was doing with that stuff prior to this. I guess it wasn't in a box, it was just strewn about around his home, but whatever. He came back down from the attic and found Kayla sniffing some of his clothes. He came back down from the attic and found Kayla sniffing some of his clothes to figure out if they were clean or dirty. Oh my god. Those are dirty, he said as he laughed. Oh, fuck. Who does that? Just assume that they're all dirty. Wait for him to come down from the attic. Yeah, I figured that out after sniffing them, Kayla retorted, and then stuck her tongue out at Lorne. So she must actually be 13 in the context of the book. Do you want to go through these for me? Seems how you know what's clean and what's not. Yes, I will, Lorne answered, then gave her a kiss and began sorting out his clean clothes from his dirty ones. Kayla left the room with a load of hers and Lorne's dirty... Kayla left the room with a load of hers and Lorne's dirty clothes mixed together so she could wash them. Lorne continued to sort through the clothes and began thinking about the nightmare that he had that night before. He couldn't imagine why he would, all of a sudden, start having them again, but he hoped they wouldn't come back again tonight. So Kayla has cleaned his dirty clothes and washed his dishes while he watched. But Lorne, the man, even if he's doing like a stereotypical, marriage thing, he doesn't have a job and he's moving into her house. Lorne really just... This is so... His insight into what he wants in a partner is like everything. He wants a mother, he wants a provider, he wants a sex doll. Kayla left the room with a load of hers and Lorne's... Oh fuck, I already read that. Kayla re-entered the room to find Lorne staring off into space. Is everything all right? She asked with concern. Yeah, he's just staring off into space. Yeah, I was just thinking about the nightmare I had last night. I can't imagine why I would have it after not having them for so long. It doesn't make any sense to me. His nightmare bothers him a lot. Oh my god. Yeah, I just burned all of his clothes. Presumably his clothes were like, I put my clothes in a laundry basket and my clean clothes are in my dresser. Did she just go, these are all clothes, move them to my house? I don't know, fucking idiot. Well, if you have it tonight or any night from here on, I'll be right there to comfort you, Kayla assured him. Lauren looked at Kayla adoringly and muttered, I love you. I love you too, she said back to him as she leaned over to kiss him. Kayla returned to the laundry, and Lorne continued to unpack and sort through his clothes. It took a couple hours before they had finished. Oh, I guess they did them together. Before they had finished, then sat down to watch TV and eat dinner before retiring to bed. Lorne slept peacefully all night and didn't have another nightmare. He woke up to the smell of pancakes in the kitchen, so he stumbled out of bed and made his way. I get people just constantly wake up before this guy. For a guy who's getting so much sleep, you'd think he'd be like, first one up. And made his way to the kitchen where Kayla was in the middle of flipping another pancake and gave her a good morning kiss. He then proceeded to pour himself a cup of coffee and sit down at the table as Kayla placed a plate in front of him with 3 large pancakes on it. After spreading some butter on the pancakes, then covering them with maple syrup, he took the first bite. He considered the taste of Kayla's pancakes like heaven upon his tongue. He didn't think anybody made pancakes better than his mom, but Kayla had proved him wrong about that. He had the pancakes gone in a matter of minutes. Kayla frowned at him when she turned to the table with her plate of pancakes and found his plate empty. I'm pretty sure, and someone correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that this is like the 5th time he's had breakfast in this book. We've gotten 0 information about him looking for a job, anything that would pertain to the story. But really, Cyber Squeak? Are you serious? Is that a joke? Eating breakfast is a trope in fanfics written by teenagers.
And
Well,
like,
that's great. Lauren has the mental capacity. Oh, go ahead, Cornville.
No, I don't understand. Actually, I think I might have read a little bit ahead. I was going to comment on that, so back to you.
What's wrong? He asked. I wanted us to eat together, but you already finished yours, she said disappointedly.
Yeah, it's sort of like, why?
Sorry,
so
honey.
she's just dumped food in front of him, and he just fucking woofed it down like a goose. He probably didn't even fucking chew it. It doesn't even wait for her to sit. Like, what an asshole. And this is what, and it,
crazy.
As Cyber Squeak, commented on about, this is a real trope in where teenagers write fan fiction. Like, that is what a teenager would do when their mum cooks them breakfast and, dumps it in front of them, and they're just like, eat. And it's like, how's school going to be today, honey? Like, just like grumbling to themselves. Like, he writes himself like he's a fucking teenager.
Yeah, okay. Eating breakfast implies that you slept the night before. It's a way of implying he's getting sex on the reg. Okay, great. Right, yeah, it like establishes a new day. Okay, I kind of get why. I wanted us to eat together, but you already finished yours, she explained disappointedly. I'm sorry, honey. They were just so good that I couldn't stop after I took the first bite. I'll forgive you this time, Kayla said, but tomorrow, don't touch it until I'm able to eat it with you. Well, don't put it in front of me. You know I can't not eat something when it's put in front of me, said Lorne.
Don't touch
Smiled
it.
at her.
Do you want to see it again?
I'm gonna shove it in you tomorrow. This is gonna happen. Lauren smiled at her demand, then finished drinking his coffee while she ate her pancakes. I guess she ate her pancakes, everyone. The next couple of months went by quickly as Lauren got an honorable discharge from the army and started his new job as a mechanic for the school bus garage. Everyone relax, he's got a job. Finally, he got married, came home, sat on the couch for 2 weeks, so he's finally got the job. The wedding was quickly approaching, and Lauren and Kayla were getting more anxious and more nervous. Redundant. About 2 weeks before the wedding, Kayla began not feeling well, so she went to the doctor to make sure she wasn't coming down with something. The last thing she wanted was to be sick on her wedding day. Lauren went with her to the doctor and looked through magazines in the waiting room while she was getting examined. The doctor came out, and Lauren stood up to find out what was wrong with Kayla. A lot of this switches between really vast periods of time to really mundane details at like breakneck pace. It's like the next couple of months went by quickly. Lauren was flipping through a magazine at the doctor's office. Like, that's not...
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not an author, but I'm pretty sure that you try and separate those things to not give your reader whiplash. I thought that you should follow me, Lauren, the doctor said, trying to keep his composure. Lauren did as the doctor recommended and followed him to the room where Kayla was in. Entered the room, he found Kayla was still dressed in her clothes, so he figured that meant she didn't have to be admitted to the hospital. Kayla looked up at Lauren with tears in her eyes. "What's going on? What's wrong with her?" Lauren asked worriedly. "I think Kayla should tell you," the doctor said in return. "He's not busy. He doesn't have other people to see to. He wants to be here to share in this very special moment with these two, magical people in the community." "Kayla, what is it?" Lauren asked. She took Lauren's face in her hands and kissed him, then put her tear-soaked cheek against his, "What?" and softly said in his ear, "You're gonna be a daddy." Ooh, yikes.
Why? Why is she saying it like? Okay.
Yeah.
Why is the doctor struggling to maintain his composure? He's a fucking doctor. Like.
This happens 4 times a day.
Like. It's so stupid. This is just so stupid.
Lauren's mouth dropped. Why did he go with her to the hospital? They're adults. It's not her mom. Like, okay, I'll come with you to the hospital. Lauren's mouth dropped as he tilted his head back and looked into Kayla's eyes. "You're pregnant?" he said as a smile began lighting up his face. "Yes," she said happily while getting the tears from her cheeks. "Well, you better get rid of it, otherwise it's the end of you and me." I had to go there. I'm so sorry. This baby's tearing us apart. Lauren picked Kayla up from the floor. What?
What? When was she?
Yes, she said happily while wiping tears. Yes, she said happily while wiping the tears from her cheeks. Picked Kayla up off the floor. I don't know. What? I'm missing something here? "You're pregnant," he said. Lauren's mouth dropped, but Kayla never dropped.
So did you tilt his head back and look at "You're pregnant"? At no. Like, was she sitting
She's on the floor. She
slipped.
slipped. She expelled so much dampness that she slipped at the idea of Lauren being a father. She was so turned on that she slipped onto the floor, and now Lauren has to pick her up, I guess. It's left up to the audience's interpretation. Lauren picked Kayla up off the floor and held her tight against him. He never felt so happy or complete in his life as he did at that moment. He wanted time to stand still as he held her. He turned to the doctor and asked, "How far along is she?" "She's 6 weeks right now," he replied. "Is the baby all right? Is there any precautions we have to take?" Lauren asked. "The baby is perfectly healthy as far as I..." Yeah, brilliant. "The baby is perfectly healthy as far as I can tell right now. In about another 3 months, if you both want to know, I'll be able to tell you more, like the baby's health or whether it's a boy or a girl," the doctor explained. So 3 months from now, he'll be able to tell her. He didn't answer how far along she was. She's about 6 weeks right now. Okay. So, I don't know anything about pregnancy. I don't know. I wouldn't write about it, though. So, maybe a lesson learned. That's something we'll have to talk about, Kayla said as she smiled up at Lorne. They thanked the doctor and walked hand in hand to the car. Lorne had called his mother from his cell phone in the car to see if she was home. Hello, his mother greeted after picking up the phone. Hi, Mom. Are you going to be home for a while? Lorne asked. Yes, I am. Are you coming over? She returned in question. Yes, we're in the car right now, so we'll be over there soon, Lorne told her. Okay, see you when you get here. She ended, then hung up the telephone. Right, I get it. Lorne clicked the end button on the cell phone. He turned the off button on his cell phone. She's going to be home, so we'll head right over there to tell her she's going to be a grandmother again, Lorne said to Kayla. Kayla just smiled at him with a loving smile and squeezed his hand. I don't know about you, Cornville, but as an adult, like, I don't hold hands with, like, people that I'm dating. I don't remember, like, high school.
I don't.
It's not... It's very weird. I don't know.
Because that's the thing. He is making assumptions on, and all of his stuff that he like thinks about relationships are from the viewpoint of a teenager. I think everything he's writing about here is from the viewpoint of a teenager.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
And as Smokey
when they arrived, Lauren's sister Kelly was there.
Says in the chat.
Okay.
You're not supposed to tell people about your pregnancy for the first 3 months because that's where if things can go wrong, that's the
right. Things can happen.
They'll go wrong. Like.
Well, Mom's an exception. You have to. She'll know because Smokey the cat. She'll know. Mothers know. Mothers are able to read their child's faces. So. Gotta tell her.
And just when honestly, if you hold hands, that's cool. Like that's just.
Yeah, sure.
Like
I'm just saying from my experience.
No judgment. Maybe I've just been married too long, but we don't hold hands anymore. So, but if you do, that's amazing. Love that for you guys.
Sure. It just seems kind of odd to me, but to each their own. Whatever. Yeah, I'm not judgment on Lauren, but to the rest of you, you're all golden. When they arrived, Lauren's sister Kelly was also there. They walked into the house. They walked in the house holding hands and was greeted by Lauren's mother. Kelly looked at Kayla and covered her mouth. Oh my God, you're fat. Oh, I'm pregnant, said Kayla. Lauren's mother's mouth dropped as she looked at Kayla and came to the realization that Kelly was right. Oh my God, Kayla. She quickly reached for Kayla and hugged her tightly after pushing her son out of the way. Oh my God. After pushing her son out of the way. Lauren was quick to see that he was not going to be acknowledged by the women for a while, so he decided to go to the kitchen and make a pot of coffee while his mother and sister gawked over Kayla and the baby she was carrying. Lauren was happy to see his mother and sister making such a fuss over Kayla. He guessed that having the adult slumber party and making plans for the wedding must have brought them a lot closer than what he had anticipated.
Just interrupting quickly, I do find it very funny that, like, after all of the things I've said on my streams, the one that causes the most angst is hand holding is weird to me.
To be honest, I have like digit phobia. I find hands and feet really gross, so maybe it's just me.
Yeah, and I am sure it's just me. As I always say, though, this is my experiences. Like I've never been much for kind of public PDA, I guess, but that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it would be so typical of me that making a throwaway comment about holding hands is what gets me cancelled. Like, just everyone leaves.
Hashtag cancel Cornville. Get it trending.
Fucking judgy motherfucker. I'll hold hands with whoever I want.
You know what's the worst part? I think I was the one who brought it up.
So this is all your fault.
No. Your channel. You have responsibility for it. I was messed up at the time, Cornville.
I apologize,
right.
everyone.
Oh,
this will be Eel's last appearance on my channel. love holding hands, and I'm holding my own hand right now, actually, just to fill that void between the next time I can hold another human's hand. Eel and I are actually holding hands. In case you didn't know.
Yeah, proverbially through the internet, through the interwebs, we're holding hands. I guess that having the adult slumber party and making plans for the wedding must have brought them a lot closer than what had anticipated because they had forgotten that Lorne was even there. As a matter of fact, if it weren't for Kayla wanting to kiss Lorne goodbye when his mother and sister decided to take Kayla shopping for baby things, he would have left without even saying goodbye to him. Lorne smiled at Kayla and told her that he loved her and to have fun after she gave him a kiss. So, they don't know the gender of the kid yet. Which, okay, maybe they're progressive and like, we'll let our child pick their gender. We're gonna get gender neutral everything. You don't know anything yet. You're not going shopping after finding out you're having a child.
No, 100%. And yeah, I will I'll reach out to Wes to start my apology video.
Right, sounds great. Make sure to withhold as much information as possible from him that's already been out there. Just really give us a slow burn. Give us some more content, Cornville.
And I'm going.
If you're gonna go out with a bang.
And I'm gonna tell everyone that I've deleted this stream, but really I've just privated it so I can listen back to it later.
It's gone. Deleted.
This is the sound of someone that's finally innocent, everybody.
After the women left, Lorne turned the TV on and began watching the news. They talked about the war in Iraq and told about another suicide bombing that killed capitalized, I don't know why, killed 23 Iraqi citizens or civilians and 2 United States military soldiers. The women were gone for quite some time because Lorne fell asleep on the couch with the TV still on and began dreaming about being back in Iraq. Time it was completely different because in his dream, he was holding his newborn baby with Kayla standing next to him. She had a black hood on. She had a black hood over her head and was on her knees with her hands tied behind her back. Oh, I don't like where this is going. No. An insurgent was standing behind her with a gun, to her head. And Lorne screamed, "No!"
I like the way he said, "Okay, there. Oh, okay, good. It's just an insurgent with the gun against their head."
Thank God.
I was really concerned we were going to get some more, core fisting or something.
Yeah, that was that. Oh, I did not like. Not like what that was setting up.
And good night to whoever just left. Someone just left. And g'day, Amanda James. Great to see you as always. And as Amanda says, a sleepover with my boyfriend's mother sounds like a literal fucking nightmare. I could not agree more. I don't no one gets it. Even if people have decent relationships with their in-laws, I've yet to meet someone that will be like, I can't wait to sleep over my in-laws' place without my fucking partner. It just sounds like a nightmare. I'm getting cold.
I'm fucking your kid. Well, what are your thoughts about that? Let's not talk about that. You're like, I'm fucking your kid. What do you think about that? Can we talk about anything but that, please? I don't.
Oh well, not Lorne's mother though. She or
give me all the
mother,
details.
she would want all about it. So what did you do next? How long did he explore your clavicle with his tongue for?
Oh, Jesus. Looked down at his hands and saw nothing, then looked up at the TV to see that the movie, 3 Men and a Baby, had come on, and that was the baby wailing that he had heard. Lorne moved himself to the bathroom mirror to find he was soaked in sweat. He turned the cold water on, cupped his hands together, and filled them with water. After splashing the cool water on his face, he looked himself in the mirror again. Why would I have such a ridiculous nightmare like that? He asked himself. He heard the sound of a car pulling in the driveway, so I feel like we've read this 12 times. He's on the couch, he falls asleep, he has a nightmare, he goes and washes his face, someone pulls up in his driveway. This is the 8th time this has happened. He heard the sound of the car pulling in his driveway, so he knew the women were back from shopping. He quickly reached for a towel and dried the water from his face and went out to help the women bring in all the new baby stuff they had bought. Kayla gave Lauren a kiss, then a hug, and felt that he was all sweaty. "Are you all right?" she asked with concern. I just fell asleep on the couch while you were gone, and it's a little hot," he explained as he did his best to rid the concern that showed on her face. Lauren's mother came around to the side of the car, unaware of Kayla's concern about Lauren, and asked Lauren to help them bring the new things inside the house without looking at him. Once they finished unloading...
I've just done a very important poll. If everyone in the chat could engage, it's the hand-holding poll. So, and the options are, of course, and shut the fuck up, C3W. I wouldn't have thought so, or occasionally. So if everyone could just do that, that would be great.
I'm on team no hand holding. I don't know which one to click. Is it I wouldn't have thought so? Is that the one?
I wouldn't have thought so.
Okay. I am voting for that one. And all Eel Reerg supporters will vote with me. Together we'll form a monopoly and control. Once they finished unloading all the things from the car, Lauren sat down and began eating the meal that Kayla had bought him at Burger King while the women sorted through new baby items. Your mom and sister are coming over tomorrow and help me turn the guest room into a nursery, and I want you to be there with me, okay? Kayla asked him as she gently leaned over and gave him a persuading peck on the lips. Now, he lives there, so of course he'd be there. Did she have to specify that? Like, I want you to take a day off of work tomorrow and be here while you sit on the couch and watch the news and eat Burger King, and we all prepare the room. Nice move, he told her. How can I say no when you ask me like that? He asked her with a smile that told her he'd do anything she asked if it would make her happy. You know, he communicates more in looks than he does with actual dialogue. He always gives people a look that says, "Fuck you, you fucking asshole," or whatever.
Exactly. Like, his looks are very expressive.
It wasn't long after that Josh called and wanted Kelly to come home. Lauren and Kayla, because he doesn't know how to cook, so he needs her to come home. Lauren and Kayla had also decided to leave and go home too. Oh, he was at his mom's house? Oh, yeah, because they went to his mom's house.
Yes. And just to clarify for Amanda James, who says, "Wait a sec, doesn't Kayla live at her parents' house?" So like, Kayla is Brooke, but unlike, the great version of this that you and Andy and Tiff and Shins did, I decided to be stupid and change Brooke's name to Kayla, which has confused a lot of people. So apologies, everyone. It slightly amused me, and now I regret
it. No, I love it. I'm sticking to this decision. This was great. Lauren gave his mother a hug and kissed goodnight and headed to the car, leaving Kayla standing there discussing some things with his mother about the next day. After 10 minutes of waiting in the car, Kayla finally opened the door and got in. "I'm sorry it took me so long to get away from your mother, but she's so excited about the baby," Kayla said with a smile. "It's all right," Lauren returned. "I understand all about women and talking," he teased. Yeah, okay. Kayla slapped him playfully with a smile and kissed him on the cheek as he began to drive down the dark street toward home. Kayla was happy to finally be home after the long day at the doctor's and then his mother's house, Lauren's mother's house. Even though he had taken a nap while the women were shopping, it was an exhausting nap because of the nightmare that he was... It was an exhausting nap because of the nightmare, and he was still tired. Okay. Women be talking, right? This is a 90s comedian. Like, they went out shopping, they were talking, evil little McNuggets. When women get together for an event like this, it's impossible to tear them away until the event is finished. As you well know. Famous quote from Taken Abroad. Lauren was happy to finally be home after the long day at the doctor's office. Oh, I just read that. After unloading all the stuff from the car that his mother had bought for Kayla and the baby, Lauren and Kayla both retired to bed. It didn't take long for them both to fall asleep. The night grew more and more still, and Lauren once again began to dream. Kayla's body was wrapped around him, and she woke up to the feel of his arms twitching back and forth. She became overwhelmed, hyphenated word, with concern as his body tensed up intensely, and she felt the cold sweat grow on him. She shook his shoulder and quietly called his name. Quietly called his name. Lorne. I don't know what that means. Lorne. Lorne. Yeah, Amanda James. Does Brooke Kayla even have a job? How does she have her own home? All she does is cook and clean and have sex with Lauren Aaron. Yeah, I'm gonna make up something here. I think that her family died in a tragic car crash accident. An individual was drunk. He was driving his friend, his brother home, and he was one sip over the limit, and he crashed into their house. And so her parents are dead. She was an only child. She inherited the house, but not much money. And these things happen. But the good news is the drunk driver never even meant to do it. He thought that he was sober. He wasn't drunk. So, and he was driving his brother home. So he's actually a good person. So Brooke didn't press charges. Lauren snapped awake and sat up straight. Lauren snapped awake and sat up straight quickly. Okay. His breaths were deep and heavy as he looked straight ahead into the dark. Kayla sat up with him and ran her fingers through his hair. Are you all right? Are you all right? She asked him quietly. He took a deep breath and blew it out, relieved to find that he was in bed with Kayla and they were both safe. Yeah, I guess I just had a bad dream, he replied as he slowly drew himself up to get out of bed. Do you want to talk about it? Kayla said soothingly. No, go back to sleep. I'm going to take a quick shower, then I'll come right back to bed. Okay, she replied. Lauren found his way through the dark to the bathroom and let the cold water splash over his sweat-filled body. After standing under the cold water for 10 minutes, he dried himself off and returned to bed with Kayla. Kayla let Lauren sleep in that morning, as she does every morning, because he needs 18 hours of sleep a day. It was Sunday, and there was no need for him to get up early. She knew he had a hard time getting back to sleep after his nightmare, and she wanted to make sure he got some good sleep to make up for what sleep he didn't get. At 11, she finally went in and woke him up with French toast and orange juice. His mother and sister were to be there at noon, so she needed for him to be... Oh, God. So she needed for him to be up to help them with the nursery. He ate his French toast in bed and drank his orange juice. 6th time we've had breakfast, folks. Okay, so 6th time. Poured himself a cup of coffee. He stood in the doorway of what was going to be the nursery and smiled while watching Kayla spread out some rolls of wallpaper on the bed. She caught a glimpse of him staring at her out of the corner of her eye. What are you smiling at? She asked as she smiled back to him. You, he said as he walked up to her and kissed her on the lips. I love seeing you happy and content. It makes me happy. I'm happy because of you, Lauren, she replied. I'm happy because of you, he returned. Aren't they happy because she's pregnant? Like, did they forget about that? Isn't that what they're remodeling the kids? Okay. Good, then do me a favor and start taking this bed apart. After that's done, move it all to the basement along with the dresser and the nightstands. She threw him a sweet smile and a quick kiss on the lips and began removing the rolls of wallpaper off the bed. I should have known that was a trap, he said sarcastically. I love you, he said sweetly as she turned and walked out the door with her arms full of rolls of wallpaper. Lauren smiled, set his near-empty coffee cup on the dresser, and began taking apart the queen-size bed. He had the bed almost completely apart when he heard a knock on the door and Kayla greeting his mother and sister. He continued on taking apart the bed, and his mother came in the room to see his progress. Hi, Lauren, she said happily. Hi, Mom. You realize I'm here today, huh? He said with a hidden smile. What do you mean? She asked innocently. I mean, you forgot I was even at your house yesterday after you heard you were going to be a grandmother again, Lawrence said with a smile. Oh, you poor baby, she said sarcastically as she walked over and gave him a kiss on the head. They're kissing again. These two can't keep their lips off each other. There, does that make you feel better? Lauren let out a chuckle at her. Yes, thank you. Good, now hurry up and get this stuff out of here so we can get started on my new grandchild's nursery, she ordered. Wow, everyone is so bossy today, he laughed. I don't think he laughed. I think a little speculation here, but I think Lauren's kind of getting pissed off. I think, you know what would be an interesting wrinkle in this story is if, like, the baby got born and all of a sudden Lauren didn't get so much attention. And, you know, he starts murdering people and what have you. And then his final victim is the baby. Like, fuck that baby. That baby's getting all my mom's attention. It'd be tough to do, but that's where I feel like the story's going. I feel like we're being pushed towards him murdering his child and his mother. You know what I mean? Don't complain, just work, she said, as she left the room with a smirk. It took Lauren until 1 p.m. to finish moving the parts to the bed, the dresser, and the nightstand down to the basement. Once he was out of the way, Kayla boxed up the extra clothes that was in the closet and had Lauren put them in the basement also. After Kayla vacuumed the light blue carpet, Lauren's mother brought in buckets of soap and warm water, and they began washing the walls. By 4:30 p.m., Kayla asked Lauren if he could go to the store and get the pizza they had ordered. So again, everyone, he knows 3 things. He knows breakfast, cajoling with people, and picking up pizza. By 4:30, yeah, it's you've literally missed nothing, Cornville. Nothing of importance has happened. He's eaten breakfast and taken apart a bed or something.
I'm shocked.
He returned with one. Yeah, I know, right? So different than the rest of the story. He returned with one extra large pizza, half Hawaiian, half pepperoni, and 2 2-liter bottles of Sprite and breadsticks. The ladies all took a break to eat and then went right back to work. While they were doing the nursery, Lauren was in the living room putting together the crib, playpen, baby swing, and baby dresser. Women were all finished by 8 and finally allowed Lauren to enter the new nursery. Lauren walked into what seemed like a completely different room than what he had been in earlier, when he was taking apart the queen-size bed. Since the women started that afternoon, they had put up new wallpaper that was soft blue and thick pink outlines and little white bunny rabbits all over the place. The curtains to the 2 windows in the room were pink, with little white shelves hanging on the walls with baby decor on them. The only thing that Lauren had a problem with was the fumes that were still in the room for the glue on the wallpaper. So they've completely finished this room in a day. The baby, Brooke, is 6 weeks pregnant. So this room is just going to sit empty, completely finished, for 7.5 months. Okay,
Yep.
Smart. Good use of space. Great idea. Lauren congratulated the women on the nice job they did
Good
as he
job,
opened
women.
the 2 windows. Yeah, great work. You did what you were supposed to do. Good lady stuff.
You were quality females.
They did as he opened the 2 windows to air the fumes out of the room. Ladies had been in the fumes all afternoon, so they didn't even notice how strong they were. Brooke's pregnant. Is that going to come up later? Is he setting up something interesting? Brooke breathed in a lot of paint fumes while she was pregnant. So her kid came out with fetal alcohol syndrome. And
Just like Lord.
yeah, exactly. Is he like
saga
divulging?
continues.
Right. Lauren thought it was odd earlier. Lauren thought it was odd earlier that afternoon when he heard all 3 of the women start giggling and didn't stop for about 30 minutes. I feel like I'm high on paint fumes. This isn't making any sense to me. Kelly helped Lauren carry the crib, playpen, baby swing, and baby dresser, and Kayla directed them where to place it. She wasn't sure about the exact location at the moment, but she could always rearrange them when she wanted to. Yeah, at any time in the next 7.5 months, she can rearrange them. It didn't take long after Kelly and Lauren's mother left for Kayla to fall fast asleep on the couch. Lauren picked her up in his arms and carried her into the bedroom, carefully laying her down on the bed. He then returned to the kitchen and turned out the light, then closed the window in the new nursery. He stopped on the way out the door and looked at the welcoming room and smiled before turning off the light and retreating to bed himself. He removed his clothes and climbed into bed and pulled Kayla into his arms. He was happy.
Isn't
He
she
felt
fucking
complete.
asleep?
Kayla-
Leave her
Yeah, this-
alone. Like, what
Like,
the
well,
fuck?
I did a long day of work and I want to. The past like 15 pages, just take them, throw them in the trash. Nothing of import has happened.
Like they and like these chapters are for something that nothing happens. They're so fucking long. Like these should have been several chapters. Like I mean several fleshed out chapters, but like it just major things happen as major things happen in here, and then he just goes on to the next major thing within the same chapter. It's ludicrous.
Yeah, at the beginning of this chapter, they had gone on one date. Now they're in love. They've gotten engaged. They're living together. They've had sex. They're pregnant. They've gotten the baby's room ready. I mean, this is too much.
Yeah.
This is too much for one chapter.
I just
He felt
imagine when
very
he
complete.
picked up Kayla from the cast to carry her. Oh, gotta struggle, baby.
He felt very complete with Kayla in his arms and couldn't picture himself ever being unhappy. Well, that's fucking ridiculous. He absorbed the comfort she gave him and fell asleep with a slight smile on his face.
Oh, slight. And that's the chapter.
Wow.
So,
Piece of shit. What a piece of shit.
what a piece of shit. So, yeah, that was a lot. That was a whole lot. So basically, in
lot.
those two chapters, we have had the first date, which we really found out nothing about anything really, but we did find out a lot about the first date in Lorne's reminiscing. He started having one nightmare, which everyone freaked the fuck out about.
Jesus Christ! This is a world where people don't have nightmares, so
Yeah. Oh no,
that's a really
that's
big
sorry.
deal.
So they had their date.
Okay.
They went on another date, where they kind of pushed their
assaulted her at a roller rink, as
So-
Smokey the Cat reminded me.
Yep, assaulted her at a roller rink, but kind of pushed down their passion not to fuck on the second date because that would just be, wrong. And then had sex, which we found out nothing about, but then proposed. And so, presumably the fourth or fifth time they had sex, we got huge, disgusting detail about it. And clavicle licking, core
Yeah, he
fisting,
licked her. Yeah.
all that kind of good stuff. We then we had the nightmares. We had adult slumber parties to work out a wedding that is far in the future. We found out that Lorne and another grown adult can't fucking cook anything for themselves. And then we had huge details on setting up the baby's room for a baby that's not due for about 8 months. Did I
Right.
miss anything there?
Well, people got up in arms over our dislikes to hand holding, but
Oh,
I
yes,
think you
yes.
nailed the book.
We really caused the scene there, but but yeah. All right. Well, look, we'll wrap it up there. It's gone quite, probably quite a bit long, but I think it was good we couldn't kind of stop halfway through that one.
Oh no,
and
I needed to see the end of this journey.
yes, very sorry, Amanda James, but you did miss the sex scene.
R.I.P. Amanda James.
A little bit earlier. So, all right, guys, we'll wrap it up there. Anything you want to say before we head off, mate?
Yeah, just a forewarning. Next week I am going to be on vacation, so I'm not 100% sure on the Wi-Fi quality where I'm going to be, but it should be fine, but it might not. So I'll let you know.
I don't. You should be enjoying your vacation, man. We can park this until you're back. So-
Well, I wanted to it. It's part. I'll be there all week. I'll see. I'll see what happens. I don't want to cancel. Sure, because I'm enjoying it.
all right.
You know what I mean?
Well, there's no pressure, but
Right.
all right, awesome guys. Thanks so much for being here. This was, in spite of this awful book, this was a shitload of fun. And it's mainly because of you guys. So I appreciate you as always. I should be streaming on Thursday. So if that goes ahead, I will see you all then, and I'll have sprinkle cake with me, which I'm really looking forward to.
Oh,
so
sprinkle cake.
sprinkle cake. So yeah. So all right, guys. Have a good rest of your night, and don't forget to delete your archives. Bye.
Guys.